Oh, I'm so annoyed.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiment that this hasn't been done for months, and you know the last couple days this is a thing, right? Tell me what you think. I want to hear your thoughts.
I think it's fucking stupid, the idea that all of the sudden the cops are just like frisking people with masks inside a bank.
So this is an illegal detainment, and this is for the poisonous tree.
I don't know. I don't know. This one sucks. I don't fucking know.
It does.
This is like such a huge issue, because if wearing a mask inside a bank is grounds for a detainment with no other factors, then that is an insane departure from how things have been happening for a very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally have not been, and when I say we, I mean like the law enforcement community have not been doing this issue for forever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... I don't think I'm willing to open Pandora's box here.
I think we should defer this, and I think we should talk with all the judges and maybe even the Senate, because this is like, this is such a monumental shift from where we were at.
I agree. We can so stay the charges for now. Put everything on hold and come back with a ruling later on this. Be an example of intent then for bank robbery charge. So
yeah, this is a very huge precedent, and I think we should discuss with the other judges, because this sets a, it's such a paradigm shift from the way we've been doing things for so long, and it is.
Can't take a seat. All right. First off, that's not true.
It's so disappointing, because
and you're gone. Like, congratulations. That's not it at all. Congratulations.
I can't even say it in the city.
No, I know. No, I know.
It's so fucking convenient that just all of the sudden in the last 2 days, now we're just detaining everyone wearing a mask in a bank. That
Class 2s are different.
Fucking thing sucks to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's rough.
That's such a weird fucking shift of just all of a sudden, hey guys, we're just now deciding to, I don't know. Hey Carmelo, you want money? Yeah, I think we just defer this shit and we talk to all the judges, you know, offline. And
do we want to pull them back here? Or do we just want to say, hey, we're gonna go ahead and stay this matter for now? Don't send them to prison,
I think we pull Wrangler and the cops back here and just have a conversation real quick and let them know what we're doing.
All right.
Oh God.
Hey, y'all remember nothing that cripple girl with the raptors up here?
Hey, can we get the prosecution and the defendants in chambers real quick?
You want me to go?
Sure. Yeah. You guys want to come back here? Yep.
Come on, Ramee. Ramee, that's you.
Oh, I gotta go to this first.
Ramee.
Love you, Bob.
I'm coming.
Hey, actually, I'll wait out here. You guys handle this.
Oh, let's say beat the fuck out of you in there. Scream, Ramee.
Yeah, Brett, hold it down out here. Hold it down.
We got you.
Yeah, it's not my case.
I got you.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
For real.
It's good to see you, at least.
I'm gonna be honest.
Stop.
We can't do that anymore.
Take a seat. Would you like me to take a seat?
No, you're fine. Whatever you want.
Okay.
So basically,
yeah, this is way too big to settle in a bench trial.
Judge Adams and I have a couple, you know,
Hope I'm running ads.
thoughts on this.
Nah, this is the bait part. This is the juice.
Basically, you know, we're wrestling with the idea of the articulation of wearing a mask in a bank being
come
enough
on.
for detention in the city.
Soon.
But I wasn't in a bank. That's the thing.
Shut up, Ramee.
Go ahead.
So we're going to, because this is not just about this case. In deliberating on this case, just, you know, out of a fucking
smile,
random whim, I started calling other cops to just get their perspective about, you know, how you guys have been dealing with these bank robberies,
an
what's
ad after
happening
this.
and all this. And wouldn't you know it, randomly, 2 of the fucking cops I called had responded to issues like this themselves. And one of them flat out told me, yeah, I just did the same thing. And I said, okay. And they said, yeah, to be honest, I walked into a bank. I saw some people come out towards the back of it, and they were all
I don't think
flagged
Ramee's
up
wrong either.
seaside.
Apparently.
So I told them to face away, and they ran.
Yeah,
I said, okay, so you're detaining them for what? And they said, because they're wearing a mask.
Yep.
I said, okay. This is not question and answer time. So
Did people just take the mask off?
okay, first of all, and this is not directed at you, Wrangler, because I know you're one of the few people that actually tries to do this sometimes. In fact, I know because I had a bench trial with you. Was that 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago, maybe, about a vault? Someone ended up punching you because you tried to detain people who ran into the vault with masks on.
Yep.
But look, I'm a little kind of confused because all of a sudden the entire police force is detaining anyone that wears a mask in a bank, when for the last 6 months to a year, you're like the only person that's ever done that. So that's a little fucking weird. But either way, we're kind of in a position.
People, you know.
Yeah, I get it. But we're in a position now where we are going to basically discuss with the other judges, because this is a massive precedent. It's not about one case. In fact, one of the cops I called told me they didn't even push the charges because they were waiting on the results of this case. So given that this appears to be a much larger issue than a very, very simple singular bench trial, we are going to do a stay on the verdict. We are going to discuss with the other judges, potentially the Senate, about what direction we want to take in this city regarding the simple articulation of wearing a mask in a bank. Obviously, there's some limitations here because, you know, Fleeka doesn't have the best staff. So, you know, they don't have like a greeter who's like, hey, take your fucking mask off when you walk in the door. Whereas, like, you know, in the courtroom, I just yell at people, take your fucking mask off.
Right.
Isn't
So
this just what
somebody has
like
this.
RS is?
No, because if this was just RS and anyone was wearing any kind of face covering in a bank, that would be a wholesome departure from
Hey, congrats. Hey, thanks
pretty
for the
much
follow,
any
Gold.
other articulable fact.
Thanks,
you need
guys.
something more to link that to a crime. This
trying
is
to
more
You don't
akin
think
to
someone
like,
wearing a mask in a bank is just? You don't think that's just reasonable suspicion?
no, that would be
No.
that would give me like
Okay.
pause as an officer to like look into that person, observe them, see what they're doing, that sort of thing.
And then the
that would
RS
not
would be me running away.
That would be enough. That would not be enough for me to like detain. This is kind of like it's kind of like if you have someone walking through like a middle upper class neighborhood and they look like they don't belong there, and some grandma calls and says, hey, there's someone being suspicious in my neighborhood. And then the cops are like, yeah, we've had strings of break-ins from guys wearing hoodies, and this guy's wearing a hoodie. There's a famous sociology thing about red hat, blue hat, and if
I need
everyone that
Andrew.
wears a red hat commits crimes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I hear that. But if someone
essentially-
walks into a bank with a ski mask, I mean, I feel like that's reasonable. That's RS for a detainment.
But Wrangler, are you talking about this specific incident, or are you talking about a general statement?
We're
now?
talking in general now, Ram.
Yeah, we're speaking
Yeah,
generally.
just in general. If someone is walking into a mask with a ski bank and a bag full of explosives and drills.
Oh, okay. Now, wouldn't it be more on your duty to see if there's a hostage present, or there's guns out, shit like that?
Oh, there's no. Okay, I get it. There's no hostage. So.
That's not.
No,
That's not what I'm
that's
asking,
not it
though.
either.
I'm asking a
No.
question. I'm not I'm asking.
The line is way before that. What we're trying to determine and articulate is if we're comfortable with the idea that wearing a face covering is enough for a detention.
That's a Senate question then. And if you want to implement a rule of saying that it's illegal to wear a mask in your financial institution, then
It's not about it being illegal. It's about, is it enough to satisfy
I need
RS?
help. Please, we're in the chambers. We're talking about reasonable suspicion. We're in the chambers at the courthouse.
I got a question.
Just walk past all that. We're in the chambers,
Oh boy.
their office.
He opened the door.
Sure.
I'll get it for him.
I think, you know, my whole issue is that I feel like that you guys are attempting to redefine what reasonable
Trooper
suspicion
Andrews.
is.
Hello.
Maybe you can help me out.
Hey, what's
since you
going on,
told me
guys?
Basically everything I know.
We're
about
discussing the
reasonable suspicion
idea
and
that
probable
wearing a
cause.
face covering a bank is enough for a detention.
If I can, real
Why
quick.
would? Why wouldn't it be?
I'd
Wearing
love to hear
wearing
from
mask
Andrews,
in
please.
public in
Please,
general,
Bison, God.
it's already detain worthy right there.
Why?
Bison, shut the fuck up.
What are you talking
Why?
about?
Bison,
Why
shut up.
wouldn't it be?
Halloween?
It's not Halloween. It's fucking July.
So?
Are you kidding me?
No.
Crane.
Why is it RS
Listen,
to detain someone for wearing a mask?
Because myself and Wrangler have been police officers in the city for many years, and we've gone to many bank robberies. And you know what? Every criminal that goes to a bank robbery has in common? They wear a fucking mask, which
but
gives
they
me
don't wear
reasonable
a mask
suspicion.
for, but they don't wear a mask
My
to rob a
training and
bank.
experience holds up as RS in this court. That's what that means, Crane.
holds up as RS in this.
Can I counter that?
Yes. Yeah,
So-
go ahead.
Okay,
if
so
there's
Mike,
except-
hold on, Crane. My counter to that, I've been a criminal in this city for many, many, many years, and
Yep.
and people, no, seriously, like if we're gonna this is a very groundbreaking, like I know, it's funny, but like, come on, we don't wear masks. Not we, but people don't wear masks to not because they're robbing a bank. People wear masks because they don't want to get caught robbing a bank.
Exactly.
Oh,
They wear
okay.
a mask,
Well, that
conceal
makes
their
sense.
identity,
Thank you for
Robbie.
clearing that up, Ramee.
Okay.
That,
Okay,
there
but
you
so-
go, Chris.
that was
okay,
pretty
okay,
easy.
okay,
Hold on.
okay.
Police
Now, let me
officers
answer
all
this.
right.
Hold on.
That they might
No,
be
it doesn't.
robbing a bank.
No, it doesn't.
A police-
Because not
yes,
everybody
it
wears
does,
a mask
Rami.
when they rob a bank.
Rami, that's not
People
what that
rob
means,
banks
though.
without wearing
Robbie's
masks.
really
Rami.
clear
But
that
the
up
most
for you.
common thing is that they do wear. You just said it yourself that a person wears a
Yeah.
mask to conceal their
But
identity. while
I don't wear a
committing
mask
crime.
because I'm robbing a bank. I'm wearing a mask because I don't want to get caught. So somebody who's wearing
Right,
a mask
of
and
course, of
Why,
course.
Rami?
Correct.
Rami, for the love of God.
That's not helping
you're
you at
just
all.
Stop.
wait, I think you guys
No,
are
no,
Rami,
you're
you're-
not helping. You're
please,
literally
you're
derailing.
He's furthering the
You guys
argument.
are derailing
no.
this entire fucking
He's
conversation.
literally furthering the argument.
no,
Literally
you're-
gonna
you're
walk
not
out
off
if
of
this is
what
what
you
we're going
just
to
said.
discuss. This is fucking pointless.
Listen,
Can
all
we
I'm
please
saying
have
is
like a
that
reasonable, intelligent discussion here and stop arguing dumb shit that doesn't matter?
no, well, it does matter because I mean, if you guys are going to sit here and say that wearing a mask in
Rami
a
with the hard
bank
throw
is a
there,
reasonable
honestly.
suspicion for detainment, then at that point, I feel like that we just need to completely redefine what reasonable suspicion is.
Okay, so again, if the articulation here is that the crime you're suspecting them of is robbery of a financial institution, and the only trigger for that RS is wearing a mask inside a bank, then we're effectively saying anyone who walks into a bank wearing any kind of face
that's
covering.
not what you're saying.
That's literally
There-
what he
there
just
needs-
said.
Yeah,
there needs to
that's
be
what
some
I meant.
articulation
No,
of
no,
that.
there is no articulation besides that in this case. That's what he said, Andrews.
No,
Okay.
you're misquoting me. I also said there were 10 people in the bank. Several
Yes.
other people were wearing masks as well.
Okay, so if there's 10 people and we're detaining a person walking out of a bank or outside of a bank for wearing a
Okay.
face covering, how does that jump to RS of them robbing a bank?
Well, I think that someone wearing a mask just in a bank. No, you know what? I am saying that. Someone
that's
wearing
what
a
I'm
mask
saying,
in a.
Andrews.
Which,
Which
I
is
mean, you don't
RS,
agree with
that's
that,
not
Andrew?
probable cause. Is reasonable suspicion.
that's
It's
what I'm
just
saying.
enough
I'm
to
saying-
stop him.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you have to
This
charge
was,
someone.
You were
let's-
trying
let me-
to get. No,
everyone
no,
stop,
wait,
everyone
time
stop,
out. Please,
everyone stop.
please, Crane, real quick.
No, you're not. You
You are-
don't even know the basis
you
of what
are-
I'm saying, and you're arguing against
But what
something
you,
that I'm not
but what
saying.
you're trying to get is an absolute. Reasonable
No, I'm
suspicion is
not.
not an absolute.
Oh my God!
Is it-
Please don't
it is-
explain RS to me. I know what RS is.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell
Clearly,
you.
you
this,
don't
sir.
because you're trying to tell him
Okay.
if.
You're not listening to me. Can you let me talk first, please? You're arguing against a straw man that you're creating. I haven't even told you the base of everything. You walked in halfway in this conversation.
Because
Can we
that's
accept
all I
that?
need for RS. It's not something that's it's 100% concrete. It is
No
just
one
a
is asking
suspicion.
for it to be 100% concrete.
Then, okay, then that's enough to stop him.
Okay.
People wear masks for other
listen to me.
reasons.
God damn it, Rami. Stop.
Alright.
Okay. So the reason why this is even a conversation, it has nothing to do with this case specifically. It's because I've talked to like different cops now while trying to deliberate on this case. And when I asked them their opinion about this, of if you just see someone walk in or out of a bank wearing a mask, do you think that you're going to detain them? And the person said, I just did that.
Crane. Okay.
I saw someone
What
come out of a
cops
bank.
did you ask?
Boom.
Because I can tell you that I asked some of the cops that when I came on duty the other day, a certain case law, an easy case law, and they didn't even know that.
Okay, fine. That's
So
the point.
please.
So my question is this: if the only articulable factor here, okay, and this is what I'm trying to figure out, okay, is wearing a face covering inside a bank. Because if someone is going to be stopped and frisked for wearing a face covering inside a bank, then we are making a leap from basically, how do I put this?
I don't think it's allowed
Okay,
in standard chat.
let's
Hold on.
put it this way, Andrews.
Uh-huh.
In other cities,
Yup.
every bank isn't robbed every day. Okay, so for the reason why a Terry frisk and the reason why that law came about in those cases and that line was because the cops were able to articulate that this is a high crime area, and they staked
Okay.
out one individual who was repeatedly casing a store. This is also an area where they've had people carrying weapons and engaged in violent acts repeatedly. So
Okay.
then when they see this person repeatedly casing the store, wearing some kind of concealment, then they stop and they frisk the person, right, under the articulation that he's reasonably assumed to be armed and dangerous.
Correct.
What I'm saying to you is basically
That's
in
literally
this
how Terry
city,
v.
if
Ohio
we're going
reads.
to say that anyone wearing a mask in a bank, leaving or entering, is reasonably considered to be armed and dangerous off of the articulation that it's a hot spot for crime because the bank's getting robbed, then effectively what we're saying is anyone who wears a face covering going into a bank for any reason is getting stopped and frisked. And if that's what we think if that's what we think this should be in the city,
Well,
if
and
that's
this is
where
why
the
we're
line
trying to
should
have this
be,
conversation, right?
I'm just trying
You
to
know?
suss that out because that's a departure from what
Why
I
can't
came
people
in.
just take their masks off?
Well, Captain, all due respect,
Crane.
in your
Come on.
testimony, you didn't tell Ramee to take his mask off. You told him to put his
I
hands up.
know.
Why
Well,
would
that's
he
not
need
what
to-
I'm saying,
Why would he
but why-
instruct him to take his mask off? If he reasonably suspects him of robbing a bank, for me, my first instinct, I need to put this person in handcuffs so I can properly investigate this crime, not ask him to take his mask off.
Okay, but
So
he
what's
he
the
literally just
difference?
shifted the scapegoat to why don't people just take their mask off? Like,
So what is
well,
the difference? What is
That's
the
his
difference
thing,
here?
not mine. I don't need to instruct him to do that.
What's
he should
the
know not
difference
to walk
here
around the street without a mask
where a
on.
police
Sure.
officer observes someone with a mask on and someone wearing a hoodie in a middle upper class neighborhood and a grandma calls and says this guy's suspicious.
It's a bank?
It's a bank, Crane.
I
And
guess
we've,
would be
like
the
I
first.
said, let me ask you this, Wrangler.
it's
How many
a-
bank
it's a
robberies
bank.
have you gone to in your career here?
It's a bank. I don't know.
How many bank robberies have you gone to in your career here?
Not the most, because I don't particularly. it's
When
not my
you
cup
do
of
go
tea,
to a
but
bank, what do they usually have on their person?
They're usually wearing masks.
Okay. What else?
Illegal firearms.
So
And
if an
thermite.
officer is used to seeing these things and he goes to a bank that's commonly robbed and he sees a person wearing a mask,
Every bank is commonly robbed.
okay, then are we saying that officers' experience in going to these crimes is not reasonable suspicion? Is that what we're saying, Crane? Are we supposed to forget from bank to bank?
Finkel.
That's the precedent that you're going to set with this.
Imagine fighting over if someone's wearing a mask or not. Fucking what?
Yeah, imagine not knowing what reasonable articulate suspicion that a crime has been or will be committed.
Imagine
Fucking
giving a
dummies.
fuck this much.
Remember, this is just for the detention. This is not for the
Fucking
robbing the
dummies.
bank, right?
he's fucking
That would you would
idiots.
need probable cause to do so.
He's
But to
fucking
stop him?
idiots.
Dude, you just need some breadcrumbs for that.
Yeah, but this was a stop and frisk.
Yeah, he stopped him.
Hey, Fingal, do you want
I
to move
know
them away from the
my
window,
training and
please?
Experience, right? That bank robbers are often armed with firearms. They're running crews. I would do a frisk
but
just based off of that.
So you're saying is that the president Crane's going to send it, but is that the president the PD's willing to set as well? That every single person in a mask with a city is able to get a stop.
No, not the city. You're skipping the
We're talking
point.
about banks.
Andrews.
We're talking about a
believe
bank.
they cried and
Ramee.
called
It's
in.
not the city. If you're walking down the street wearing a mask, okay, that's a little bit different.
What?
But if you're in a bank that's commonly robbed, and I'm pretty sure it's been robbed
Send Fingal to
every hour of the
Yep.
day.
Okay,
right? And
but
every
that's the
time an
argument that
officer
Crane
goes
made
there,
is that the
somebody
fleet of
with a
banks in the
mask and
city
a gun
aren't
and a
staffed.
drill or
There's not
whatever
like a
other shit
security
they
guard
have
that
to rob
says,
the
"Hey,
bank.
sir, take your mask off."
They're gonna remember
That's
that shit.
you know,
That's their
we're
training and
dealing with the
experience.
confines of
Generally,
what
right?
they
You're
live in
talking
a
about
video
this
game
situation, right?
where these banks aren't like
This
staffed with people
situation
to say, "Take your
mixed
mask off,
with the
idiot."
plethora of other
I
ones
don't-
that officers have gone
I
to.
wasn't in the bank though.
Why do they detain the other
I
10
was
people?
outside
You're
Good
the
around
bank,
the
question.
bank.
We
You're
have to
outside
discuss
of the
that.
bank.
going in my car. Was never in the bank at all. He like the Wrangler did not see me in the bank at all.
He
Robbie,
was.
Robbie, let me just ask
You
you
did
this.
not
This
see me in
was
the bank,
off.
Wrangler. Stop lying, bro.
This was off the table or everything.
did.
When you go rob
Off
a
the
bank or you
table.
go do whatever, what do you bring
Okay,
with you?
no, let's do this. Were you trying to rob that bank?
They
No,
don't go down.
actually, I wasn't.
What the fuck? I don't know. Figure it out.
There you
They
go.
don't go down. Oh, hey, Carmela.
This is fucking America.
There you
man.
go. So I had a mask on, and I was not trying to rob the bank.
Send Fingal on a HUD quest, and he's just
literally
getting screamed
proves
at by
Crane's
Chud now.
She had a gun and a
Guys, I gotta
drill.
go with my
I'm not trying to
But
single you out, right?
You
But
You wouldn't have,
if
you wouldn't have
if
known
you-
that I had a gun and a drill if he did not stop and frisk.
Exactly,
point
but
that
that's
Crane's
enough
trying
to
to make.
stop you, though. That is
No,
that is enough to
so,
stop
but that-
you.
It's
In
enough to
your
look
eyes,
for more
that's enough to
evidence to
stop
press
me.
the charges.
Well, that's
that's
the
literally
precedent
what
you guys are trying to
RS
push.
NPC is. No,
If
but
you-
it's not that we're
Crane,
trying
if
to
you-
push.
if
That's just what
you-
it is.
If you vote otherwise, you are literally throwing out like training and experience of an officer
That's
as being reasonable suspicion. That's the precedent you're gonna set. Like
You know,
a
I just
cop
worry
can't stop
that-
somebody for literally the same thing happening 5 minutes ago.
And
and
I
let's
just
see the
worry,
same thing
Crane.
happen.
All right. Everybody out. Let me talk to Andy.
Can I just say one last thing? Okay. I just worry that a lot of these conversations just lead to just blanket X needs to happen and then we can arrest. And I worry that more and more things are being stripped away where we can actually investigate and draw our own conclusions and push our charges and then let you guys decide. The less things that, you know, the more that happens, the less you guys are even going to be needed.
But we both.
You know what I mean?
But that's also kind of a.
All right, he's ordering them out of the room, so Hoppers, you got to come back.
Because if you guys were to come out there and be like,
that's really
Hoppers,
weak.
come back.
That's
Let me
really
talk to
weak
Crane and
when
then-
you. That's really weak
This
when
is-
you
this is
consider
Los
the
Santos,
reality
you know?
that, like, in Los Santos, a detainment, a stop and frisk. I mean, like the hit rate in this city on a stop and frisk is what, 85%.
It's very, very
Never
high.
left? Hell
but
yeah.
Where
Hell
are you
yeah.
going
Yeah,
to
we have
draw
a high
that
crime
line
rate.
on where you can detain
More followers,
someone?
Inc.
'Cause This is the argument that's being made here.
Okay, let me
Needs
talk
to be
to
done
Andrew.
on-
Let
Yeah,
me
well-
The
talk.
officer's power to detain.
okay.
Thank you.
what's going on with this court case though. With this,
It's
it's
stayed.
still-
We're
it's
not,
stayed.
we're
You're
not
being
charging
made
you
into
yet.
a case law.
Not
Rami.
guilty, not
So-
guilty at the moment.
can I get my stuff back?
No.
Not right now. Pending the outcome.
Oh, pending this conversation.
Yeah.
You gotta open this door.
Yeah, I got you.
Unless you guys want me to be here.
No, it's fine. Fern, you want me to stick around?
Not for this one.
All right.
I'm not under.
All right. Well, hey, I can't hang out for that one either.
Like,
I don't. No, I'm not saying.
I
that,
mean,
but
I
I'm
guys
saying-
are trying to
I'm not
push.
saying
You guys
were,
are trying to
but-
push an aspect of reasonable suspicion and probable cause, and Wrangler's trying to. I mean, not Wrangler.
That's gonna.
Crane's
That's gonna
trying to
bleed,
stop it,
so.
right? Or like push his own certain reason of or view on RS and PC.
Basically, what's happening is they're trying. And correct me if I'm wrong, Adams, but it sounds like you guys are trying to discuss if masks should just be banned in banks.
Well,
Hey, did y'all see my
That's
dick in the
a-
window?
that's a
See my dick in the
simplification.
window?
I did.
I mean,
unfortunately,
but I don't think that should happen either, though. I think that officers should just be able to just use basic RS to investigate crimes, and then from that RS, if they have evidence, they can use probable cause to push
Hold
those
on.
charges.
I have
That's
a-
all I'm
wha-
saying.
wha- wha-
I'm not
Right,
asking for
and-
blanket
and-
X needs to happen, then this person goes to prison. I
and
hate
that's
that fucking
that's
shit.
kind of
I hate
where
that
I'm
shit
at.
more than anything.
So
Hold on,
Wrangler,
what was
can
the
I ask you just a straight out question, like off the record?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure, off the record.
Okay, you pull up to this bank and you see Ramee inside, outside, I don't give a shit, at the bank. How long do you wait until you pop out of the vehicle and detain? Do you sit and observe it for a minute, or do you just pop out and just get in there and just?
Well, in this scenario, he was walking to his car, so I wanted to have him detained before he got in that, and completely dusted me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but you guys are missing a key detail.
What's that?
RAS isn't like reasonable articulate suspicion. That's it. It's reasonable articulate suspicion. A crime has been and will be committed, and you have to articulate the crime.
Correct.
Yep. And I believe I did today. You know, with the thermite drills and mask.
But you didn't.
But,
know
but that was
helmet
but that was
should
only
not be
articulated until
before-
after the detainment was
That was
placed and you
after
searched.
you searched and you shouldn't have.
Right, but you can use RS to gain probable cause to press
Yeah,
charges.
yeah. Right.
Which
But
is
you
what I
don't have
did.
the probable cause because you,
You
can't
did it in
articulate
the
the
court
crime.
of law, bro. But
Yes,
you
I
didn't.
did. You
you
weren't
didn't
even
do
here.
it.
What are you talking about? You weren't even here when I was speaking. John,
What's
what
the
were you
crime?
talking about?
What's the crime?
Well, it was disobeying a lawful order.
How did I disobey you?
You did not put your hands
It
up.
wasn't a lawful
You didn't ask me to
order.
put my hands up, though.
Yes, it was a lawful
See, that's
order.
the thing. A disobeying a lawful order. You had no PC to stop them. It wasn't lawful.
That's what we're discussing. We're discussing if
Yeah,
somebody.
well, you're
if,
wrong.
Okay, yeah, walk away. Sure. You don't want that clapback. You don't want the heat.
Scared.
Scared.
No probable cause that it escalates. No, reasonable suspicion comes first. Suspicion is a lower standard than probable cause.
Anyways, yeah, whatever. All right, it just is what it is. You guys want to get back out there?
Sure.
Well, I don't think we're
Do I get my shit
necessarily
back?
done.
Oh,
I
is this
think-
going to be a today thing?
I guess they're hashing it out right now between those two. So
Okay.
It's all my fault, really.
I think that
all my fault.
this was a good one.
certainly,
think-
it was certainly
God.
one, Fred.
I think this was a
Do
great
you guys
one.
do
Actually.
you guys have a good time out
Firm
here?
handshakes all around.
I think that
I
I'm not
did.
gonna
We got
sleep for
into a
another
big
week.
brawl.
I heard.
You think you're gonna win this
Was,
argument or
was-
against the judges?
Was Ramee
or,
on
like, you know,
arms, Wrangler?
Me? I think
No, it's
that if I lose this, then we all lose.
Who the fuck
Because
is
I think
we?
it's
As the
basically
PD.
Yeah, I think that probable cause and reasonable suspicion is being stripped away and turned into just blanketed. This happened, so then we can arrest.
I would agree, but there's also
Junior verdict. We
I
need
don't know how
more
to
drama.
describe this, but there's also a way to not quote unquote weaponize, your SOPs in terms. You get what I'm saying?
Well, no shit. It is weapons against criminals. That's literally what it is.
You're taking it too literal. What I said though.
What?
Like, because I technically know I can
How
do
many
this,
cops
then
is
I'm
the
gonna
second
go
courthouse?
do it, and
At
then I know I'm
least
gonna do that.
800.
Like A plus
Well,
B does
right.
equal C. So then, because I get C, then I technically did my job correctly. Because under the technicality of RS and PC, then I did everything correctly. But then there's also what they're trying to talk about in there is talking about like morals and shit, and like what is like morally correct in Los Santos.
Morally correct. You have an illegal gun and a bomb.
But you didn't know that though until after searching me.
Yeah, but now you're talking about moral.
I don't think you get what I'm saying. Maybe I'm not saying it correctly.
I don't think morally is the right word, Rami, but that's okay.
You get what I mean.
I know what you're
ethics,
trying to
I
come
guess.
for. Yeah. It's
I only like
Like,
treating
dude,
Ramee.
if that's the case, you can go pull over anybody with a fucking mask outside any fucking bank or
No.
not or anything in general. Like, oh,
I wouldn't do
see this
that.
guy
I
outside a
wouldn't-
store. I see a guy outside the store. What's the difference between a store and a bank? You know, I'm robbing both. Oh, this guy has a mask running outside of a store. Let me fucking pull him over and say, oh, yo, I think you're robbing a store. I need to check your hands.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
get what I'm saying? No,
I
but
wouldn't-
then at
if,
that
if
point,
somebody was
that's
robbing
stupid
around in
as
a
fuck
bank
then,
with a
Gunner, if
mask
that's the
on,
case. Which is
why?
what they're
Just
saying
take the
in there.
mask off.
Okay, but when we do
But-
that,
but
then
again,
you
that's
put it-
not what you- that's not what you asked him
That's
in
not
this
what I'm
instance.
arguing. But hold on. First of all, he asked me he asked me to see my hands. I showed him my hands, and then he put me in cuffs because I don't know why you put me in cuffs.
not
'cause
put your
I
hands
detained
up.
me. You didn't tell me to put my hands up. You told me, can I see your hands?
Okay, now you're being intentionally fucking stupid. You know that I meant
How
put your
am I
hands
being-
up.
No,
Let's
I
be
didn't.
honest.
No, I actually
you
didn't. I
didn't
thought
know
you
that I
wanted to
meant put
GSR
your
test
hands
me.
up.
No, I thought
Okay.
you wanted to GSR test me or some shit, or check my hands for thermite or some shit, whatever the fuck you guys do. I didn't know you
Okay,
want me to put
alright.
my hands up. That's why I
Oh.
sat there and pointed my hand at you. I think you guys
Okay.
are the ones playing stupid right now, to be honest.
Right.
And
sure,
on top
yeah.
of and hold on. And if that's the case, to Gunner's point, if you guys can go, I can just
This is,
detain somebody for wearing a mask at a store or a bank, then you're gonna be sitting there and arresting everybody at a fucking store and a bank. Like,
Not if they
Or-
weren't wearing masks.
Yeah,
though.
not if they weren't wearing a mask.
but do you not understand the problem with that though? If you like,
No.
I think that's where the disconnect is.
I think that there is a major disconnect. I will agree with you on that.
Because if this is allowed, where if somebody's wearing a mask at a store, a mask isn't a form of criminal.
Okay, let me ask you.
There's a
if
case
I
in another
had to go
jurisdiction that's-
to
Sometimes
fucking
people wear
Fleeka,
masks as a part of their outfits, man.
Chat,
like,
we're gonna watch
fashion
homework.
shit,
We're gonna
you
do
know what I
homework
mean?
after this.
I guess
We're
you
gonna
guys
watch
are under that
We're
assumption
gonna watch
people wear
another video
masks only for criminal
about an
reasons.
individual wearing a
You just
motorcycle
said in
helmet
there
inside
that
of a
that's
Walmart.
why
For
you wear a
me,
mask.
I don't speak on behalf of all criminals. I don't give a fuck if I wear a mask or not.
Why would a reasonable person put a ski mask on in a bank and expect for shit to just be sweet?
Say that again? Or I wasn't listening.
Why would a reasonable person walk into a bank with a ski mask and just expect for people to think it's fine? If you were sitting in a bank
good point.
and somebody walked in with a fucking ski mask, I would leave.
Yeah. Well, I think I see this is where the conversation gets kind of like borderline.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
In Los Santos, I wouldn't.
Well,
if you get what I'm saying.
Sometimes I feel like Los Santos could use just a touch.
Another city,
just a touch.
If this was California, then yes, I would
from other
agree.
cities.
But if it was
Okay.
Los
Hey, Ramee,
Santos,
come
I
on,
would
we got a
disagree.
bank to rob. Let's go.
You get what I'm saying?
He already has
Wrangler?
his mask. So maybe that's. I think that's the
If it was
disconnect.
California, yeah, that is I think that's why he wanted everybody out because I don't think Andrews has any eyes on him right now, and neither does Crane.
Yeah, and I think we all do.
Yeah.
I do.
Ooh, well, I'm gonna go sit in on that shit then. Enjoy
Ramos,
being out
let's
here.
go.
I wouldn't do that.
I was
Fred,
gonna say.
I wouldn't.
I was gonna say if Ramee was unarmed, I just would have shot him again.
Ramee, let's go.
I mean, the court case isn't over, Judd. I gotta fucking sit here and wait for the shit to finish.
Wait, it's not over.
No, I don't know. They're talking about it right now.
Okay.
I mean, I can go outside. Are the boys outside?
Yeah.
All right. Can you just
Hey,
tell
don't
the guy to make
don't go too far. I'll call you around.
make a state announcement or something. All right.
Well, chat. Let's talk about this real quick. Now that we have a kind of a quiet moment.
You know, I just had to cut.
We have there's a lot. I don't
just
think
cut two
I don't
people
think
loose
anybody's
because they were
wrong
wearing
here.
masks,
That's the
and I was
problem,
waiting on
right?
finding out what.
I
the
don't think
ruling
anybody is necessarily wrong. I think this is one of those blurred conversations where you have to deal with what's reasonable.
Just so you know, I got a bench
Yeah.
trial. I got a cell rep about this exact same thing while this bench trial was going on.
Oh, we know.
Okay, just making sure you're aware.
You had a bench trial about this earlier too.
Another point is you could make the easily argument like, oh, if I'm wearing a mask and I'm driving, you could just easily make the PC of, oh, this guy must be boosting. Let me pull him over.
Well, yeah,
get what
but
I'm
then
saying?
we would get to that. We would get to that through, making sure that the car belongs to him, or if it's stolen.
All right, Jay.
Have a good night, Brad.
All right.
Hey, good night.
Actually, that's a good point, Ramee. I should start doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a form of weaponizing an SOP. You get what I mean? Or not an SOP.
is, I mean-
whatever.
Well, it is quite literally.
Like, are you really gonna go around and just pull everybody over that's wearing a fucking mask while they're driving?
No, only if they're in a
I
bank.
mean, isn't that what we did like a year and a half ago? Like, if you're wearing a mask,
Yeah,
everybody
but
should
is
be
that
stopped.
really the correct way that people should be policing in the city?
I think yes. I like
don't see
officers
why
that
not.
use their brain and don't just go to an alert.
I think we need local
Well, I'm
cops.
not
I prefer
saying
that
that.
style of policing.
Well, local cops.
I think we need local cops.
Doesn't that argument kind of fit both ways? Like, shouldn't criminals use their brains? Shouldn't cops use their brains?
It does.
And then,
It's
Well, it does, which is
people
why
have to
they're-
kind of generally think on both sides.
like me personally, I think things are always a little bit better when we all use a little bit more brain power, if I'm being honest. Sometimes walking around being a dumb fuck depresses me terribly, and then I just go
Oh,
drink
Kyle,
and gamble.
Kyle coming in with
There you go.
the take that's correct. Holy shit!
And poor Wrangler, look at him. He hasn't slept in a month.
Look at Kyle.
It's been. Oh, it has
Look at
been.
Kyle. What changed? Like, let's be completely honest. What changed is the pattern of behavior, right?
For old time's sake.
What changed is the
I
pattern
still
of
got
behavior.
I still got monster
Oh,
ramp.
Nikki, what's going on, bro? I haven't
Oh
seen
shit!
you in,
Hey,
like,
can
fucking
you
6 months, a
can
year,
you get your
bro.
ramp
Wanna
out
breach
and
a
I
little
can hit it
soul
with
with
my
that?
bike before I go to bed?
What's that? What do you need?
I want to hit your ramp with my bike.
What changed is a ton of banks. What changed is
If we have to breach
the
a
behavior
compound.
that people are engaging in today. It's I don't want to like comment on how, because I don't understand the mechanics. I don't understand how these new heists work or anything. Here's what I'll say. from an outsider perspective, if I,
really
a
wanna ramp it
citizen,
with your motorcycle, I'll put it
decides to
down.
walk into a
You
bank
wanna
and
ramp the
sees,
courthouse?
5,
Stick it
10
from the
people
budget.
they're masked up, waiting to rob.
I already did take the
I don't know
money
what they're
from the
doing,
budget.
but they're
You wanna
masked
jump
up.
over the
Maybe someone's got a gun. Maybe someone's got some other shit. Maybe someone's staring at the door where the teller
Alright,
comes in.
Go get your bike.
Do I think that's a little
Well,
suspicious?
let's wait for the verdict. 'cause
Yeah,
it could be up
sure.
at any time.
Okay, let's do it then, sir.
But like,
This
No,
isn't
it's
the
setting-
mini ramp. This is the monster ramp.
Would it fit in here?
it's understandable outside
No,
of 30 out of the
it's
city.
huge.
That's the other thing, right? Is
All right. Thanks, man.
even the behavior in the city has changed. Cops pretty much have a clear articulation of if you think about the last 6 months before Tuesday, the articulation of bank robbery has been get hostage, go to bank, put hostage in front of door, put gun to him, someone goes on the back, robs the shit, chase, done. Right? That's pretty much been the narrative of bank robberies. And now we have this new and unique behavior that cops think is weird,
Yeah.
and they're
Thank
starting
God,
to
obviously.
investigate it. We have the
Yeah.
bench trial earlier that I had with Violet. We have this one with Ramee. That is now a thing. Do I think that the cops are wrong for looking into it? No. Do I think that the cops are doing this the right way by jumping into a full-on detainment, search, and charging with these crimes? I don't know. I think that's a conversation that's slightly above my pay grade, right? And
Yo,
that's
Adam,
why
come here.
it's,
Can I talk to you?
yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna be honest, man. This whole thing is fucking stupid because I didn't commit a crime or literally do anything. So why
I don't-
The fuck is this?
I don't
Like, how-
necessarily think
why-
you did, and because
So
this is not the first one of
why-
these that I've had today, right?
So how is this even like being like a groundbreaking court case where it's like if people are shying away from the fact that I got arrested on some dumbass shit and lazy cop work?
No, I know.
Even on my cross examines, he answered all my questions. Like he had no like, dude, I got pulled over because I wore a
On
fucking
paper,
mask.
Ramee,
dumb
I
as
don't,
fuck.
I don't necessarily think that this is, I
I want all my shit back. Between me and you, right? Like, I
Right,
want
between
my,
you and
my my drills and my decryptor, bro. That's a lot of like
Right.
like why are you taking that if you have no reason to even take it? Just because you've never seen it before, so you're gonna take it? And I told him what it's for, and then he said I'm gonna take it anyway. Like what the fuck? What kind of policing is that?
Yeah, I get it. We don't. I think there's a natural desire for them to want to investigate these things, though, too. So I can see where they're coming from. But if they can't draw a clear and logical conclusion, I can see why it would need to be returned.
But he hasn't drawn it. Has he drawn a clear logical conclusion between you and Crane?
To me, in this specific instance, no. As far as the drills and the decryptor,
And I wasn't
itself,
in the bank when he pulled
no.
up to it, and he even admitted it out there. He's just fucking lying. The amount of perjury he's been doing under oath is just fucking annoying.
Yep.
And because he's a cop, it's automatically a believed. There's no, it's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's not necessarily true. You know what the first thing I said to Crane was when I went back in the back room? I asked, well, I can't really determine whether Ramee was inside or outside. I don't know. There's no scene photos. There's no proof. So to me, when I'm making that decision, that doesn't matter, right? I'm looking for things that I can prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
It matters
when we go
though,
to
no?
court.
Because that was his whole RS to even detain me, and then
Well,
got
that's
PC
his
to prison.
articulation for the detainment. But if I can't prove that, then
Then it's
how
the
am I going to rule? Right.
Then the food or the poisonous, whatever the fuck it's called, it does put into play here. Then I shouldn't be charged with illegal firearm because of the basis of the whole crime was fucked. Then I
Right.
shouldn't be charged with anything else after that.
It could come into play, absolutely. But
Is that-
that's
is that
where we
what's
need to
going on?
expand on. Well, I'm not quite certain. I don't know what the conversation that's happening back there right now is. I think
Oh,
you
but
and I both
Crane
know
didn't
what the
talk about
nature.
it?
No, we did. Well, we talked about it for a couple minutes. Then he called a couple cops to ask their opinion, and now Andrews is here. So, I think you and I both know what's happening here, Ramee.
I think Wrangler needs to understand that it's fucking Los Santos and not California, and I think Andrews needs to realize that as well. If it was California, I would agree with what they're saying. If it's Los Santos, man. Wearing a mask in the city, fucking judges even wear masks. Crane had one coming into the fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a lot to parse through. I don't
you know
disagree
what
with
I
you. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little bit above. I think probably both of our pay grades here.
And I don't think it's a ruling for either of them. I think it's a ruling for the fucking Senate.
It's kind of where I'm at, and I think that's why we all got booted out of the room. So. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens.
And honestly, Andrews coming in, I think, threw a blender in the whole fucking thing on their side. And actually, his points weren't making any sense. Him being a cop in the city for 4 years, and off of his experience, wearing a mask is RS for a crime outside of a
Yeah,
bank
that's
is
fine.
complete fucking
Like
bullshit,
this
to
is
be honest.
fine. I'm not really paying attention to you guys right now.
I've been a
like-
criminal in the city for fucking 5 years. I wear a mask as a fashion statement sometimes. I wear a mask sometimes because I want to wear a mask. Same way the judges do it. So
Well,
kind
like
of,
the incredibly basic argument is like if you're on a motorcycle and you wear a full face
what are you
helmet that's
missing,
covering
sir?
your face.
Am I
is
boosting?
that
like
well,
what am I like? I don't.
Oh yeah, yeah.
right? Because and that's where I kind of come down, and that's what I was telling you guys over there.
I've
It's like
completed my build.
I'd like to see a pattern of behavior,
I'm a
right?
hybrid
You know,
DPS
you might be
/ Sanctum.
suspicious, or you might think somebody is up to something. Observe for a second. Wait and see what happens. Maybe it spins into something. Maybe they continue doing something. Maybe they fuck up and pull a gun. Maybe, you know, I'm more of the mind to let the criminal fuck up than act too early, and I think maybe that's what happened here. I don't know, and I won't be able to tell you, but you know, I believe there's got to be a little bit more than just mask.
And by the way, when I said I wear a mask to not get caught, I don't mean that in the sense of doing crime. Like I don't wear just a mask just because I don't want to get caught. I wear a mask sometimes because I want to fucking match my outfit. It's a cool mask.
I want to clarify,
It's
this
cool,
is
it's
Norman's
lifestyle,
character
it's
talking to Ramee.
fashion.
This isn't so much
There's other reasons why I want to
how
wear a
I
mask.
feel.
If I'm having a conversation with somebody, sometimes I don't want that person to see me, and not anonymity. This shit is not fucking quote unquote real life, man. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I know. I don't disagree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And I think that's the line that people have to kind of draw out and figure out right now, and that's
Yeah, but
why
I don't
we're
think
here.
it's not a thick. It's not. It's a thin line. It's not a thin line, bro. Pretty common sense, to be honest.
Who's Dinglefit?
Dingle, the one, isn't he the one that murdered that person and then tried to eat them?
He's the one that cut out my tongue right before a court case, and then we had a court case for him for witness tampering, and because we couldn't locate the knife, he was found not guilty.
Wouldn't know anything
Did
about
he say
that.
he did it?
Yes. As soon as the verdict was rendered, he ran over and was like, "I do it again."
Well, can I talk to you really quick?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
Oh.
Here, we can talk, you want to talk here or
Yeah,
somewhere
just
else?
right here.
All right. All right.
I just wanted to say thank you for teaching me how to go full fucker.
Sometimes
All right, quiet moment again.
Yeah, listen, do I think you're a fucker? Absolutely, sir. In fact, I aspire to be a fucker. Some would even say I've been known to be called fucker 2.0.
Okay, great roleplay. Things are tense. Great. Thank you. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. I am now just as much in the dark as you guys are, right? I have a lot of opinions. I have a shitload of opinions.
I'm gonna give you some great advice. Some advice that I don't.
DOJ sucks. I'm gonna need some new emotes after this chat. It sounds like y'all are gifting, and I'm sorry. I got the notifications muted because they'd be going nonstop. I'm gonna have to catch up here. There's so many.
Okay, well, you know, name tags.
Again, Mr. Keekles with a 20 gifted. All of these follows. All of the other
Can I get
gifted.
a name tag,
Big
sir?
Tony. Big Tony. Symbiotic with 5. Everyone that's been providing support, thank you so much. All of these follows, you know, I was supposed to have a 1,000-follower goal by the end of the month. Y'all shattered it tonight.
Your name's long as shit, Wanderlust.
Y'all literally shattered that shit tonight, so thanks for that.
Tell me whatever you want.
And y'all been good for most part.
You give
Really
me a
only banned like 2
nickname, I'll
people,
remember it
so
10 months from now, sir.
y'all are behaving.
I was thinking about instead of
We
getting
love that.
new people name tags.
I understand that things are going to brought a little bit of a passionate argument here, and that's okay. What do I do for a job IRL? I am an attorney.
Fuck shit.
That's what I do.
Is where fuck shit.
But it's in corporate and civil law, in the healthcare field.
Suck
So,
me.
Like I said earlier, dude, 20 minutes into shit show. Yeah, but you know. Hold on. While we're here, I'm gonna spam support for my boy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Y'all see Aristotle in chat.
I had one of the first name tags.
He is Judge Grayson, the best voice in the DOJ. Absolute best voice in the DOJ. He'll soothe you to sleep. He'll make you feel
I'll get
all
that
kinds of
stuff
ways.
done.
He might make you feel good. He might make you feel some type of way, you know.
What if I gave
y'all should go
everybody
show him some love
nicknames
too.
And then got their shit. Like I would call this guy No Chin Ugly McFuckface, and then it's just fucking just that written on a fucking little thing on his lapel there.
You want ads?
Useless
Merry Christmas,
dumb
y'all get
fuck.
ads for a bit while we're chilling. Ads.
Pretty fitting.
Pretty good.
How's Fairverse actually decided? That's a great question, and we can come back to that.
Did say he likes wearing a little.
Let the
cock
people,
cage
all the
and
people watch their
watching
ads
his,
first.
Girlfriend get plowed by other men.
Hey, if you don't like ads, turbo or subs. Giving you appreciation for
Are you
people's voices.
okay,
Thank
Fingal?
you.
This is the most real thing ever.
Hey, Ed Walker, it's 2022.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Hey, you dodged an ad.
Why are you saying that?
Thank you.
I might
You
need
really
a
took
new
that like
drink soon.
0.8 of a cent away from me.
I'ma buy you a
If you guys
drink.
keep-
You did it. You did it. You took 0.8 of a cent away from a not full-time streamer.
I got a breathalyzer.
You did
Can
it.
you unlock Ramee's mansion for?
Oh,
yeah, I
I'd be
can just do
blowing
it.
way
It doesn't
past
matter.
0.8, buddy.
I got it, boss.
Thanks, Roy. That's real nice of you.
You really changed. Since 10K.
It's a small victories in life, true.
What's
Sound
it
like
like to
Cactus
have
H2
money
does
for
Destiny 2 videos.
Pretty
Man,
crazy.
remember when
I don't know what
Destiny
I'm
was
gonna
good?
do.
AKA Destiny 1.
Might,
Install a bar.
Allthings cops wear masks 100% of the time. If this goes through. Oh, here we go. Hold up.
Those are big. Those are big
All right.
fucking shoes to fill.
It's a lot of alcohol.
Okay.
Ramos.
I had a talk with
He ran away.
Ramee. Come over here.
No, he didn't run away.
Ramos.
Ramee.
You can grab him by the arm if you want.
What's going on, son? How are you feeling?
You know, your other son's an attorney now, Andrew.
Say that again, sir.
Your other son's an attorney.
Oh yeah, Mr.
There we go.
Steele.
Yeah.
Although I think he lost his shit. Last time I came on duty, he said I
No, I saw
abused him
him.
and
He
treated
won
him
my court
badly.
case, sir. He won my court
He
case.
won mine and
He
Gunner's
he
court
did
case.
he did win a
I'm
court
talking
case.
about his. I'm not talking about how he does in court. Just saying, I came on duty and he said I used to beat him.
He's
and some
AFK.
other
Yeah,
shit.
he's a
I think
very
losing his
bad
mind.
man.
I didn't realize.
No, he's not. Shut the
I
fuck
thought it was
up.
your boy.
Don't talk about
Jordan
your
is
brother like
a
that.
very, very bad man.
Listen, I will beat your ass in this courthouse.
Dad, I'm not lying
Alright.
to you. Though. Jordan
Let's
is
not-
a bad man.
Let's not.
I will
distract
take my
this
belt
anymore.
off and I will
No.
beat your ass.
Crane,
Hey, sorry.
I think
Alright,
Ramie's
what
in
are we
deep
doing?
thought still here.
No.
Okay, so Ramee's still in deep thought. God damn it.
I think so. Yeah, I pulled him over here, but he hasn't said anything.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
jetpack.
just because it's wingsuit bullshit. Thanks, Cerberus. Look, so here's what Andrews and I discussed basically. On a pure rote level legally, there should be articulation beyond just the person was wearing a face covering in a bank. Now,
Yep.
obviously in this city that's very easy to get to.
Yep.
If, as Bloom said in my call to him, I saw 4 people flagged up seaside, coming out of the back of the bank behind the teller area. All these sort of things could be, articulation about stopping someone. There needs to be kind of, I think, a generalized reminder to PD about the difference between a stop and a stop and frisk. The idea of detaining someone to investigate what they're doing and ask them questions because they're wearing a face covering or something like that to identify them is a departure from a stop and frisk where you need articulation about them being armed and dangerous. Now, obviously, in the city, again, that's pretty easy because most people are constantly armed and dangerous, especially known gang members.
Yep.
So, really, at the end of the day, most of this is going to just fall on... Mr. Ramen, are you here yet? Okay, we'll get to him. Most of this is going to fall on criminals to just not be lazy.
Well, he's not.
The only
we're not talking
counterbalance
about
to
him.
that is to encourage the officers not to fall into the same trap, which is something I'm going to discuss with the folks at the security at the banks. Because if, there are 10 people in the bank milling around in masks and there's no information given to you, and y'all are just left to like roam up to a bank and detain anyone wearing a mask.
You know, I just thought about
creates
something.
an environment where, I don't know, cops would just sit outside banks waiting for people with masks, which kind of sucks all around. But anyway, the point is that on a very basic legal level, there needs to be some articulation beyond just a face covering. Now, obviously, as discussed, that's pretty easy to get to.
So just to be clear, so you're saying that in this instance, it wouldn't be enough reasonable suspicion to just see someone.
You
wearing a
had
mask
reasonable
in a bank.
suspicion to detain him.
Okay.
And because he tried to disobey you, which happens with like 95% of your arrests that you brought to my court, that's enough for a search incident to lawful arrest. So the whole frisk step wasn't even needed. What I'm saying is, if he had perfectly complied, like let's imagine a scenario where Ramee,
here we go, chat,
didn't ask you why am I being detained, and he just stopped and said, "Oh yeah, what's up, Wrangler?" If you had then immediately frisked him, that would have been a problem. Because the simple face covering is enough for you to stop them, talk to them, ask them what's going on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. See if their story matches up, see if they have an explanation for what's happening. Like Bloom said, he was trying to figure out with them what they were doing, and they said, well, we were
Compliance
withdrawing money.
later. This is literally
and
what I
he
told
observed
Kyle
them
earlier.
coming from the back of the bank, not even where the tellers are.
So then
that
it wouldn't be a
immediately is
detainment then.
inconsistency. No, that is a detention.
But when someone's detained, then we have the right to frisk them.
No, you don't.
No. So
Wait,
this
hold on,
is
I'm
where
back
I
now.
have to
What's going on?
explain to a bunch of cops what Terry v. Ohio is. People believe that simply because they are detained, you have the right to frisk them. If you reasonably
believe they're a
believe
threat, right.
they are armed and a threat to your you conducting your investigation, which is what consists of like wearing bulky clothing, wearing
Being a
a
notorious
hoodie and
bank
a
robber.
sweater.
Oh,
Yes.
what's going on right now? Sorry, I was in my head.
I know in the city, this was a
Ramee,
thing a long time
we're
ago,
skating
where
around.
past
We'll get to you in a
history or
second.
past arrest history couldn't be, I don't know, used, which is kind of fucking weird.
It can't be used. Okay, no, no, that's a misconception.
People like Jack Vingle, you know,
Can't be
you
used in
heard
court.
people who wear their masks as
Yes,
a
Wrangler's
character.
right. It's not that it can't be used. It can't be used
Gray
in
area?
court as
Not
proof
for me
of
to
guilt
decide.
of the current crime. Meaning, if you walk in and you go, Crane likes to drink and shoot people on his front porch, and the crime is I'm accused of shooting someone on my front porch, and I bring in like an alibi and I
Judge,
say I
you
was at the
complied.
courthouse, people back me up and all this, but you go, but Crane was found guilty of shooting people on his front porch last week.
Yep.
So you should find him guilty. That's bad fucking argument. That's
that's
bad
bad faith.
logic. That's bad evidence. That shouldn't be used in court.
Yep.
But if you're
I've
going
shut down a lot
to
of questioning about
articulate
how
that
Ramee
the
do rob
reason
banks.
why you suspected this person might be involved in crime is because they've been arrested for bank robbery 6 times
Ramee
in the
did comply?
past 2 weeks, that's different. That's
So-
you getting to your point of detention.
I'm going to come back to
I'm
that.
with you. I'm with you.
Then
now.
you
So,
establish facts after the detention. But what we're trying to point to with Andrews here
is
is
the
that
frisk, yes.
everything.
I'm going to come back to that.
There's a
Chat.
tendency in this city for cops to kind of just ask, what do I need to do something? What's the line? And the point is that it's very easy to get to the things you need because of how fucking lazy and basic every criminal is in this city. Everyone walks around wearing a mask 24/7 for no reason.
Yep.
Everyone walks around having an illegal gun for no reason, even if they're not even close to being involved in anything where they need to hold a gun on a hostage or shoot someone or anything. They just have a gun because they always have a gun. Most recently, we've seen that with class 2s.
Yep.
Okay, with the whole cum thing, and I think that's a paradigm shift, and this may be another one. This may be another one when it comes to masks. Okay, when I say that I'm uncomfortable with the idea of someone being detained simply for wearing a mask, it's not because in a pure like white room experiment, social theory type environment, that's a wrong idea. It has some implications sociologically, but in terms of like rote law in this city with these circumstances, if you see someone in a bank wearing a mask, it is a reason to stop and ID them. Period. Okay, you can stop and ID the person. And if you're stopping someone and they're not free to move, that is a detention, right? So that is the stop. The frisk part you need to articulate.
Okay. That
So
makes sense.
You, in your scenario, I don't think you had enough to frisk Ramee in this scenario. just on what you said, right? If there was something
It's
else where you
Ramee,
ask him
though.
questions.
So if I were to identify,
But
it was Ramee.
You,
wait.
you have to articulate.
You have to
that, though.
articulate in this
you have
scenario
to articulate your reasoning for
exactly
frisking
why.
somebody.
So, for example, if you
mine
ask
was he
Ramee
was
questions,
disobeying, right?
okay,
How did I
but
disobey,
I've already
though?
said, but stop.
Wait,
That's not.
this is wait,
That's
time out.
not.
This is
frisk.
this is very
But this is
important.
not the this is not the court case.
Wait,
this is
hold
not.
on.
We're not.
Yeah, we're not.
arguing
We're not
about
even there yet.
Hold on.
We're
Let
at
me
procedures
explain this.
surrounding.
Let me
Talk about
explain this.
general shit.
Hold on. This is a very important distinction that people are not getting in the city at all. If someone is under arrest, okay, it is not a frisk anymore. It is a search incident to lawful arrest, which means that any time someone is under arrest for an arrestable offense, there is probable cause for that arrest, right? The officer is effecting an arrest of the person, which in other jurisdictions usually means the moving of someone from the original scene.
One thing,
etc.
chat,
Here we
I wanna
depart
throw
from
out
that
to
a
you.
little bit because obviously you can't just detain and interrogate someone in the barrio.
I don't
if
know
there's
what
like 10
Ramee
vagos
did.
around.
Like
You probably
Norman
knows all
in
about
character
that
doesn't know
case
what Ramee
law.
did.
But
I get
the
y'all are telling me
important
that he
thing here is
didn't
to understand
resist or whatever
that
the
if
hell.
you are arresting someone for
Norman's
disobeying,
character does not
right,
know that, right? He has to go
then
based on
you
what
are
was
searching
said in
them
court.
based on them being under arrest for disobeying. You are not frisking them because of your RS regarding them potentially robbing a bank. Your RS was to stop them, ask them questions. If Ramee in this situation, this is where it's important for you, Ramee. If Ramee had complied immediately, he did not sit there and ask, okay, but wait. You do not, as a citizen, have the right to understand why you're being detained before it happens. That's not your right. You don't have that right, period, in law. You'll often see this in, security cam
After
footage
court
from other
cases?
jurisdictions where people are like,
Well,
why am I
sometimes I get
being
curious
detained? Why am I being
afterwards.
detained?
Okay,
I don't want to be
I have a
detained.
simple argument. I have the counteraction to that.
I'll
He
take a
did
look at
not enunciate that I was being detained.
Yeah, I'll take a look
at
after
all
the
until
fact. I'll get
after
some
I was in
thoughts.
cuffs.
Okay, hold on. So, if someone says something to you, like an officer gives you a command like face away or show me your hands,
That's a
okay,
detention.
that's a detention.
You're not
Put
free
it
to
this
go.
way, anytime you are not free to walk away from someone or if their command means that you are not able to make your own choice in the situation of whether to do something they're asking you to do or not, you are detained.
Okay, so
if I
can
walk up to
can
you on the
I have a
street and I say, Ramee, come over here. And you say, no, I want to keep going.
I didn't say that.
And then I
though.
say, you don't have a choice, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
That's a detention.
Okay, I have a question for you then.
Yes.
So in this exact situation, he said, I want to see your hands.
Yeah, Cran's literally
I said,
explaining
for
this.
what? He says, I just want to see your hands. And I said, okay, for what? That is me disobeying and resisting?
You're not resisting. Resisting is physically fleeing.
Did I break cuffs? Answer me.
No.
Answer me
Stop.
these three-
Stop. Hold on, Ramee. Hold on. This is another misconception. Resisting is not breaking cuffs. In fact,
run away?
legally, if you break cuffs but you stand perfectly still, you are not resisting, you are disobeying. Resisting arrest is fleeing physically.
So did I disobey?
Okay. So by not
Did
showing him
did
your
you do
hands,
exactly what he asked you to do?
disobeyed.
Yeah, I showed him my hands. He cuffed me up, and I didn't break cuffs. I didn't run away. I didn't do anything. I asked him simply. He said, "Can I see your hands?" I said, "For what? Is that me disobeying?"
Okay. So when you say
Okay,
for what?
let me hold on, Crane.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that when you asked him to show him
So
your
we were
hands,
just talking
Wrangler?
about that after, actually. What
Hold
he
on,
meant.
Wrangler.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Wrangler. What did you mean when you asked him to show him your hands?
This is good.
I want
This
him to
is-
put his
This is
hands
a good
up.
mix.
Okay.
Did
See,
you put your hands up?
No, because he said, "Show me your hands." When he said, "Show me your hands," I thought he wanted to GSR test me or check my hands for like thermite, whatever the fuck it is, or some shit like that, or see if my hands are red or something. I didn't know when he says, "Show me your hands." If you ask any person in the city, "Show me your hands," they're gonna say, "Okay, okay,
Ramee.
cool." If it's a cop, they're gonna think
They're
you're
gonna
getting
put their
GSR
hands
tested.
up. Come on, bro.
If a cop says, "Show
He
me your
didn't-
hands,"
Okay.
come
Now,
on.
okay. If you're pointing a gun at me, then yes. If you're casually walking up to me with a taser in your hand, saying and saying it very calmly,
You want me to
show me
shoot
your
you?
hands. But you're not. You guys are. You're
Ramee,
understanding.
hold on,
If you
stop.
want me to put my hands up, you tell me to put my hands up. You don't tell me
Ramee.
to show me your hands.
Let me ask you this: if a cop like Wrangler
Is this a semantic thing? Is this literally?
immediately,
Hey.
hold on, let me phrase this to you.
Nah,
this
Wrangler,
way.
you know what you're fucking doing here, bro.
Stop. Let me phrase it to you this way.
Oh, come on.
Let me phrase it to you this way. have there not been complaints about cops being too
All
aggressive
comes down to trust
recently?
words. Yeah, it does.
Crane,
For
that
the
is
last,
the
like,
most
6
bullshit
months?
fucking get out card
Should
on,
have to be
on
very
this
clear in their
fucking
commands.
So
topic.
you don't think that maybe the reason why cops are trying to be more cordial and not as aggressive is because of the
Let me
pushback where
see
they
your
just kept
hands.
getting shot? So
No,
maybe
no,
he's
no,
trying to
no,
de-escalate?
no, it's not, because if
I'm
you're
asking a genuine question.
No, it's not, because if you're casually walking up to me saying, "Hey, show me your hands real quick," is that me putting my hands up, or is that me under the pressure thinking? He says, "I said why?" I said why. He said, "Just show me your hands real quick." I'm this close to him. He says, "Hey, just show me your hands real quick. Just show me your hands." Am I under with the context clues and everything going on?
But
Am I thinking putting my hands up?
Why question it though? Why don't you just do it?
Because I didn't know what he was meaning. I didn't know what he meant.
But-
He told me he wanted me to
but
put my
you
hands up.
just said-
I thought he
you
wanted to
just said-
GSR test me or some shit.
Hold on,
But
but
you
you
just
didn't
said
say
you
you didn't
thought-
say what do you mean? You said why.
Yeah,
so
you
you
said
knew what
why,
he was
which
asking.
you
You said
knew what
why.
he was
No, I
asking.
didn't.
You were
Show me
questioning
your
why
hands because
he's-
I literally thought he wanted to GSR test me.
You said
I swear
for
to God.
what?
Exactly. So why don't you just say okay and then?
Because I just didn't know what he meant. I didn't know he wanted me to put my hands
Then
up.
why didn't you ask for clarification?
So if
Like
he,
that-
let me ask
so
you this.
that's my problem because the officer
hold on,
isn't clarifying.
Hold on,
Andrews,
hold on.
you came in
Follow
here
the
fucking barging, bro, because
Hold
you
on.
didn't like how the fucking
Wait
shit
a
was
second.
going, bro.
Wait a second.
What are you talking about?
Follow. Hold on. Follow
What-
the
what
logical
happened?
path here. No. We're not getting into that. Follow the logical path here.
I'm sorry.
If-
Wait. Time out.
Oh, God,
What happened?
Crane.
Rami?
I'm not Crane. Andrews. Crane was literally about to rule this court case in my favor because Wrangler didn't enunciate and
I
say
was
it
not
properly.
I was not about to rule anything.
Regardless
in
of
fact,
that,
We
regardless of
hadn't
that.
arrived to a verdict.
we said that we were
Nah.
staying the verdict, and then we had
guys.
this conversation.
Okay, guys. All right.
I didn't barge in here because I didn't like how things were going. I was
right.
called here.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so look, Rami,
I'm
here's
sorry
here's
it's
the
not
thing.
going in your favor, Rami.
not-
You think I'm throwing a tantrum because or like
I
a
didn't
bitch
say
fit
you were
because
throwing
it's not
a
going in my
tantrum,
favor?
But you did just
Okay,
like
you're right,
throw
you're
shade
right.
at me because I'm
You're right.
here.
Okay.
So
All right,
stop.
Andrews.
So let me explain something to you guys. First of all, in terms of the ruling on the court case, okay, this is
I don't want any speculations
very
about
clear to me.
bans or
Number
anything
one,
like that. Don't do that
I'll
shit
tell you
here.
the things that are not in question. Number one, you're
Don't do
not
that
being
shit
found
here.
guilty of robbery of financial. Number two, you are not having things seized from you that are not marked for police seizure
Yep.
and that are not inherently associated with crime.
Yep.
Number three.
Which probably would have been confiscated if I wasn't here, Rami. So you're welcome.
Number three, the situation with the idea of simply the mask and the stop and the frisk and the difference between the two steps and all of those issues, some of that is larger than all of us, and some of that is something I need to talk with the techs from the banks about, the Senate and other folks, because at a certain point, you are all victims of the fact that the fucking bank security sucks to the point where you can have 10 masked up individuals in the back of a bank
So
trying
he's
to
getting
do
his shit back.
whether you were in this case or not, Rami. There are like 4 other cases today that I'm looking at in the incident report. And there's no indication to the police of anything suspicious happening whatsoever from the bank, from the employees, from the security, nothing. So the cops are effectively left
Not that
with
they're
the
making gun
premise
because those
of,
are illegal, right?
guess I'm just going to drive
No,
around.
it's not that he's
and if
making
I happen to
those.
see a bunch of
I don't wanna
masked
hear
up
that.
people milling around in a bank, I'm going to go investigate.
If you're gonna go with that, you can
situation we're
take
in
time.
now.
You know,
Please,
you're,
no more
you're good. You're
pings.
good for a bit.
Please.
Take 10.
Yeah, you say that, but at the end
Please
of the day,
just let us patrol.
Yeah, and guess what, Wrangler? When you say us, when you say us, you are one of like 10% of the officers in the city that are capable of thinking for themselves and articulating scenarios based on actual investigation and actual
Why don't the cops
observation.
interview all people in that bank and just
The
rob
other
them?
90% of the officers in this city are incapable of doing so and will literally just be like, well, we were told that anyone wearing a mask hanging out in a fleeca is probably robbing it, so we're just going to go and detain everyone.
Well, so then keep ruling them not guilty until they fucking learn.
No. Just time out. Here's what he's trying to say. If he rules in Rami's favor, then police officers' reasonable suspicion gets thrown out.
Which is
If you
bad.
roll in your favor, then it sets a shitty precedent of every other dumbass cop that we have here. Because let's be honest, we have a lot of stupid cops are just gonna stop people wearing a mask in a bank, frisk them, find a gun, and take them to jail. It's just the easy fucking arrest, and you can't have either of those. So where's the middle
Which is
ground?
why we have to talk to the security at the banks and/or figure out some other discussion between the group of people that make decisions in this city to figure out a way forward. Because right now we're in a completely shit situation. Because if I just rule purely on what reasonable suspicion is purely in this city, every criminal would be fucking having a Chang gang livery. If we were really being fucking honest about law in this city, if you had a Chang gang livery on your car, you'd get stopped and everyone would be ordered out of the car and frisked every single time they were seen. If you were wearing a Seaside mask, if you were wearing a GSF flag, you're wearing a Ballers, chain, you're fucking running around in an NBC chain, driving your $1 million sports car when you never had a legal job in your life.
He's not wrong here.
Every
no.
single person would get
He really
frisked.
doesn't.
Their bank accounts would get tracked. The fucking rabbit hole is endless.
It is very easy, and we obviously can't have that here.
Why?
Wrangler,
But is it
because
just
it would
the
be
devil in the
very
details,
oppressive,
though?
though.
Like,
Yes,
you know what I
it
mean?
is.
Every
Yes.
situation
Criminals
is
should be
different.
Yes, it is. That's what Andrews and I are saying, which is why,
not in a
unfortunately,
city that
Pred,
is very small like this.
not a lot of people are
I feel
able
like the
to sit there
criminals-
and articulate the details.
Shouldn't criminals feel like that they do have to
agree.
operate underground? Isn't that the point of
Yes.
crime?
But it is way too easy to do our job. If
Yeah,
it were
we've
to
already
go in
talked
that
about
favor,
this.
it is super easy. Like he
Didn't
just said,
I already tell you, Wrangler, about
if
my
there's
whole
a
thing
chain
about what
gang,
I would do if
livery,
I was a cop?
anything related to any gang, we could literally stop anybody for any reason. It just make up some shit.
Well, I don't want to get into that. I just hate getting a ping and then that's when I can go somewhere. I just really like being challenged. And I feel like that every time something like this happens, it's less of that.
It's not
So,
your fault.
alright,
it's
so
just the
can I just say
precedent that's
something
going to
real
set
quick? I
to the
feel it's
rest of the
important.
cops and the people in the city. It's
Look,
literally not your
look.
fault. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
Dad, here's what I don't understand. All right. Now, I'm not really about this particular incident. I haven't really been paying too much attention, but I feel like at a certain degree, it's like if you're gonna be in a
Was
bank,
challenging this for him? He wasn't. Well, he wasn't
I'm
brought
not trying
there.
to throw shade at Ramee or anything because I don't know the whole
I get.
situation. But
I get where
I'm just gonna
Pence is
say, let's
coming
say you have
from
a group
too.
of
I
people and
get.
they're
I
being
get
dumb
where
fucks in
everyone's
the
coming
bank.
from.
They have a group of people
And that's why
laying
this isn't
low
a
in the
decision that we
bank,
need to
right?
make right now.
Shouldn't you, isn't that why is that on police, right? Like, isn't
Laying
it
low
on
seems more
100%.
suspicious than
Isn't it
And
on
again,
criminals to kind of?
think-
I just
you think
keep
like
coming
Wrangler,
and then
right?
and then we
You
kind of match.
Yeah, I just keep coming back to
100%.
I don't understand why it's so unrealistic for criminals to expect to not wear a mask in a bank. I just don't understand why that's
I'm going to
just
cut through the
so-
fat. Here's what's going to happen if this continues. Every criminal, let's say that robbing a bank is really fucking hard and no one's very good at it. So they're all just hanging out in the front of the bank. And let's say that some of these people are hanging out there for hours trying
Here
to
you go,
figure out
Chad.
how to get in the back of the bank.
Here you go.
And y'all aren't getting pings because they're not actually getting anywhere. Now let's say that they realize that if they do get in, there's going to be some kind of alarm or security system. The cops are going to show up. So they're going to need to have masks on because otherwise for the hour they're sitting there, they can just get photographed and documented and then there'll be warrants, blah, blah, blah. Well, now they're going to realize that if they can get detained and arrested and frisked and all this shit just for standing in a bank with a mask on, well, their next step is going to be to grab a hostage. So then we're going to have hostages sitting in the fuck of a fleeking bank for an hour, just sitting there with their thumb up their ass. All because we don't get fucking pings.
We give
Yeah,
time
we will.
limits. No, I give time limits. I don't know
That's
about
not
you guys.
true. You can grab a local.
Oh yeah, that'll work great.
Well, even still, I mean, I
mean,
hear you,
come on-
but
come
like
on,
if
guys.
someone was
I mean,
asking for an hour,
we've been in this city for a while, right? It's the bank's security got reworked. It's something new. Everybody's trying to try and test it out. And
who fucking cares? Oh, okay, all right.
We have
Well,
to care
okay,
a
but
little
Wrangler,
bit.
to
We
be
gotta
fair-
keep that on the, we
to be
can't
fair,
I
Hey,
have to agree with
Wrangler,
Wrangler on
Wrangler,
this one.
okay,
Because
so
we
let's
can't
let's
be
face
this
that the other way. Let's
linear-
flip that the other
we-
side. Who fucking cares? Why is every fucking cop suddenly going to every fucking bank and detaining people with masks when they've never done it for a year?
I don't fucking know. Ask them. What the fuck does that have to do with me?
But that's
We have not
that's
had to have a
because
reason to do
there
that
hasn't been a
until
lot
right
of
now.
activity.
Because
Also,
no
yeah,
one was
that's
doing
true.
it. It wasn't
Why
an
did I
issue.
start getting class 2s off the streets 2
because
weeks
we
ago?
haven't had people. We haven't had 12 fucking people standing in a bank for an hour with masks
Every
on
time
until
I go
right
to the,
now.
every time I go
which
to the
is
vault,
a
there are
different
people in
issue.
masks
That is
there.
not.
Not-
our
they're not
issue.
standing there
That
for a
should be
fucking hour.
handled-
People,
that should be handled.
That's a lot.
that should
People
be
run
handled-
in and out of the
know
fucking
they're there
bank
for
as
an
quickly
hour?
as they
Why?
fucking
How do you
can.
know
that
that?
should be handled by the Senate.
Why
That should
do you
not
know
be
they're there
handled
for an
by us.
hour?
If there's
An
12
hour-
fucking people
an
lined
hour
up
is
outside,
me-
then
But why do you know they're there for an hour?
Okay, an hour is me exaggerating,
No,
but
hold on.
people
Let's follow
definitely.
this out. Why do
Oh,
you know
this
they're
is
there
bleeding
for an
now.
hour?
I have an example.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm exaggerating, but that they're longer than fucking 20 seconds
But why
because
do
that's
you-
what people would do
but why
before.
do you know that?
Because I just fucking saw it earlier in my last case with
Whoa,
Adams.
calm down,
I
calm
watched
down.
it
Hold
for
on,
5
everybody,
minutes.
everybody,
You're
let
not,
Bloom
I was
you're
there
not
for 5
understanding.
minutes.
down.
Let Bloom speak.
Wrangler,
Can I
relax.
put
not
forward
understanding.
an example that literally has happened in
Venus.
the past 12 hours? The BBMC were outside of Legion Fleeka for 4 hours.
Venus.
4 hours.
Wrangler, I'm sorry you're not getting your
We
way,
were
man.
there. We were telling them to stand
Ramee,
across
shut
the
up.
street. We told them to stand across the street. We told them to just get out of the bank. They were actively
Yeah, get your
parking on the
wiggles out,
sidewalk.
chat.
They
This
were doing
is
other semi-illegal stuff, but we couldn't prove that.
All
they were
of
trying to
you,
rob the bank.
stop.
So that is a real example. You're asking how do we know they're there for an hour? We're watching them. Their vehicles are parked out there.
Oh.
Literally
It's
4
like,
hours.
If,
the
we're-
BBMC
if
were
our
there.
standards
and
are
that's only
raised and
4
your
hours
guys'
'cause I went
standards
to
are
bed.
raised, we all win at the end of the day.
I'm sure
That's
it kept
true. 'Cause
happening.
we all
for the
have
rest
to
of the
adapt
shift.
to each
Okay,
other.
so that incident with the BBMC, did that in turn into, hey, the BBMC have been frequenting banks, we should look into the BBMC, or did that
Yes.
in turn into what? We're all
It
going
is-
to
it led
check
into
every
multiple
bank for people
chases.
in masks?
It led into multiple chases, and that's just the Legion Square was claimed by the BBMC last night. There were other banks that were doing the same. That was just the one
Okay,
that
well, then
became
they're
the
fucking
highest
stupid.
priority.
That's not our issue.
they
I
are
think
fucking
that's a
stupid. That's what I'm saying.
that's a Senate issue.
Fred, what were you
No,
saying?
it's not. No, it's not. We
Yes,
can
it
literally
is.
just
It's
police.
not really
We can
about
police.
Literally
anybody like
is.
winning or
No, it's not.
losing.
We
It's
can
about,
police.
Like, us
We
being
can.
able
Because
to
then we have
challenge
these
each other in different
situations,
ways.
right? And if
So
we
This
we all
shouldn't
have
even be a
argument.
situation.
Listen,
This should not even be a
listen.
situation.
I understand
Yes, it
you,
should.
Wrangler,
This is an
but if you
important
make
legal
it
issue.
a Senate issue, it gets taken out of your hands, and it's no longer your fault. If the Senate makes a decision on how this should be, then it's on the Senate, not on you. You don't get any backlash. So just let it be a Senate issue.
What?
Okay, man, you didn't get your way.
Because it's not.
Bring it in.
Ramee,
You're
you're
right.
I know
you're
it's not
literally
normal,
missing
right?
the
It's
point.
not normal, and you
Thank
don't
you,
see the
Ramee.
Bring it
reasonableness
in,
in
buddy.
it.
Bring it in.
Thank
But
you.
it's not something
Thanks,
that
Ramee.
you
You're
should
right.
you should be like, man, that looks stupid and as shit. Let me just call the Senate and let them know this is happening.
Well, I mean, I think that what Crane had initially said summed it up perfect, is that it's reason for the detainment, but you have to further articulate a frisk in a physical
100%.
detainment.
No,
Now that
yes.
makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I can live with that. But this whole fucking, oh, we gotta fucking call the banks and have them add more shit. Fuck that. God, just fuck that. Fuck, man.
Come here, buddy. Come
Why? God damn it, why?
here, buddy. Come here.
Because Wrangler, because
It's so fucking dumb.
All right, so I just sent
because
Crane
it's
a,
not
a
all
text
about you,
message.
Wrangler.
I mean,
it's about
why can't we
everybody.
bring the
Add
loitering
back.
charge back?
Make it a crime again.
Yeah, loitering.
No,
That's the reason we got rid of
you
it.
can't have those crimes. You can't, because Wrangler understands how to use
Listen,
loitering.
bench guys over
You
there.
understand how to use
Yeah,
Wrangler.
we got rid of loitering because of
But
Ripley.
you have these
I'm
other
so sorry.
cops that are just
Yeah, it was
very,
one of your
very fucking
troopers, by the
dense.
way.
I said
Who?
bench guys over there. If you
Ripley.
want to suck his dick.
Well, then if they don't
What did
know,
he-
then we make them.
Ripley
learn, and
continued
if they don't
enforcing
Why would I wanna
loitering
suck his dick
after
when
it
you're
was
all
removed
over
from
fire?
the penal code.
You're right.
He
you're
literally
right.
would go to the All Street departments, arrest people for loitering. When it's not an arrest, it's a ticket. Loitering wasn't even in the penal code anymore. You couldn't even write an incident report because you couldn't click on it in the MDW because it didn't fucking exist. And he was still billing people $150 and telling them they were being charged with loitering.
Well,
Not
this
even
is
writing
Ripley,
incident
okay?
reports.
I mean, some days he has good days.
Yeah.
A lot of other days he has bad days.
There's a reason why we fucking can't have nice things.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. Well,
everybody fucks
I
it
mean,
up.
like I said, what you guys initially told me with needing to articulate the frisk, that makes sense to me. But I don't know where we landed on if someone having a mask on in a bank is. I mean, we did land on that's reason for detainment, right? At least asking them.
Purely, it by itself is enough to stop an ID. Let's say, right? You could just say, "Hey, man, we've been having a lot of robberies in these banks. I just need to make sure I can ID you if you're going to be coming in and out of the bank." That whole kind of thing. That's fine. You can get someone to ID themselves. But in terms of detaining them and frisking them, those are two different steps.
That makes sense. Now that makes sense to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Stop and frisk, which is based on the articulable and reasonable position of armed and dangerous.
Yep.
All right. That makes
Stop
sense.
part you can
Cool.
do for almost anything in almost every jurisdiction.
And here, and you know, and I hear what you guys are saying about needing better security because these cops will just do that. But you know what? I think that kind of shit, you know, there's an argument that it makes worse criminals. It's also making worse cops because I think that hold on, let me finish. I think that if they are, if they are you know, if that is needed and they are just running into fucking banks and arresting people when it does take it to bench trial, fucking strike them down and tell them, no, you have to be able to articulate this shit. The proper steps have to be there. I'm worried.
I do, but here's what happens.
I'm just worried that shit is just so easy for
here's the
everybody.
part you don't see, Wrangler.
Just for everyone.
Here's the part you don't see because you're someone who interacts with the DOJ. So when that happens, those cops who are the lazy, non-thinking, fucking just tell me what the ping says cops will literally then say, I'm not going to court anymore. Fuck the DOJ. I don't know how to do this. None of this makes sense. Fuck everything. And then what they will do is they will avoid bench trials at any cost to the point where people understand that and they know which cops are like that. So then they will just ask for a bench trial just so the cop will go, oh, fuck, I don't want to go to bench trial. Let me see what charges I can drop. And then we get the situation we have now where I'm writing legislation where if a judge accepts a bench trial, they're coming to the courthouse and cops don't get to decide they're pleading guilty anymore because I've had fucking Coyote.
I don't think that we should cater to that kind of behavior.
I
do not think that we should cater to that kind of behavior.
No, listen. Irrelevant of what judge. Irrelevant of what judge, Andrews. Irrelevant of what judge. You know what I mean?
But there are a bunch of judges.
Okay.
I mean, or we're going on to a different issue.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. He accepted bench trials when they were requested of him in the Discordian app on his phone. He said, yes, I will take the bench trial. I'm flying into the city. 4 times in a row, he was then told 20 minutes later, the person pled guilty, they've been sent up.
That's Coyote. I have done the same thing with Coyote because Coyote will throw out a case when the person has straight said their social security number over the phone like R. Kelly has and is 100% guilty. So that's different.
But there's also two
ways. But that's dog shit for the judges. It's happened to me.
You're telling me. Why do you think the DOJ is a DO Omega?
I feel like raising the bar is kind of good for everybody because then we can finally prune the leaves of the shit cops that don't want to do the fucking work.
If an officer came to me and said, no, hold on. If an officer came to me and said, I let somebody go because I didn't want to go to bench trial, suspended.
That happens.
That happens way more often than you think.
So tell us. I'm sure that people would agree with me on that.
Yeah, we will fuck them up. I have no patience for people.
I would fucking suspend somebody.
I have personally gone to PNC with cadets that have done this shit.
Okay, but it's also
about that.
The other part of it is it's also impossible to know what officer I'm dealing with because half the time it's one person reaching out and they're one of 6 officers on a scene, and then all of a sudden magically the person either pleads guilty or is set up.
Here's the thing. Let's not pretend though. It's not just cops being dipshits. It's criminals being dipshits
sure.
too.
And by the way, I've already just so we're clear, just so we're all clear, we're on the same page. This has already been run by the Senate. I've already gotten approval. They've already told me I'm good to go. I just haven't written it yet because I've been in Russia. But they've already approved me to write legislation that literally says that if a judge accepts a bench trial and the judge is requested and accepts and said, yes, I will take the bench trial, then even if the criminal decides they're pleading guilty or even if the cop wants to drop charges or whatever, the judge is the one doing the sentencing. So regardless of whatever you guys are going back and forth in the cells about, when the judge accepts the bench trial, the person is going in front of the judge.
I thought that was already accept court cases. Out of all honesty, when court cases get the time to plead
so that way, there's no more bullshit.
I have a question for both. For 3 of you, for Wrangler, Andrews, and Crane, and I want you guys to answer separately, not together. And I want Wrangler to answer first, and then Andrews and Crane. If I have a mask, then. Right, this is going back to this shit, right? So if I have a mask and I'm using the ATM outside of a bank, right?
Yeah.
Is that, Wrangler, how would you proceed in that? Then?
Talking semantics now, or?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Here's the problem, Ramee. You're trying to find a specific thing that you can do with the mask to make it not guilty.
I'm genuinely not because.
Can I draw a parallel? I can explain this.
No,
Ramee, I can answer this. I can.
Okay. All right.
I promise you I can.
All right.
Okay. Ramee, if Wrangler's a cop who shows up to a house robbery, okay, and there's a person who comes out of that house, and there's a breaking and entering call, right? Wrangler now has 2 of the 4 prongs of the case law, right? About house robberies. You're guilty of a house robbery. Yeah, you're guilty of a house robbery if you have 4 things. 1, being on the scene. 2, there's a breaking and entering call, right? The other 2 are blood on the door and scratches on your hands. Now, blood on the door and scratches on your hands only happen if you suck with lockpicks, okay? Just cut through the fat. So essentially, most of the time, you're dealt with kind of a 50-50 in terms of it being a pure guilt or not. So you have to argue most things. So let me put it to you this way. As a cop,
fuck are all these people
right,
here
from
for?
the bench trials I've seen, if someone comes out of a house and they're wearing an all-black ski mask with a neoprene suit and they immediately start running and get on a
What the fuck
dirt
are all
bike,
these people here for?
right? There's not much there that is going to
This isn't gonna
sway
end
the cop
anytime
that
soon.
they are not, robbing the house.
Okay.
Now let's go one step deeper. What if the person comes out and they say, "Oh, I wasn't robbing the house. I was delivering a pizza."
Okay.
And the only evidence they have of this is 1 pizza in a box from Maldini's in their pockets.
Okay.
Hold on.
Now let's say the person comes out of the house. They've got on a full pizza delivery uniform. They've got 3 pizzas. They left a pizza in the house, and they've got a receipt and a phone log of the order with the address of the house. Okay? So in that situation, Wrangler or any other police officer might be inclined to not immediately
there's a whole
assume
mix of
the
people
person
here.
is robbing
Like,
the
there's
house.
Alex
Same
Domino,
thing in your
Deputy Mayor,
situation.
there's
If you're
Cleo,
standing
who's
at a
not
bank
related.
wearing a mask
There's
with a bunch of other
Jalapeno,
masked up
who probably just wants
individuals,
some
and
shit.
when
There's some people
stopped
from
and
autos
asked
that are
questions,
around.
you
There's
have
a
no
whole
explanation for
mess
what
of
you're
people
doing
around
other
right
than
now, right?
I was just pulling money out, and the officer has sat there and potentially observed you in the bank. And I'm not saying
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is your case,
That's
but
what I
I'm
have
saying
her
in
on the
general.
phone as.
Like Bloom had a case he talked to me about. An officer has observed you in the bank for a period of time and saw you not only not pulling money out at the teller, but you were in the back
I'm
inexplicably.
funny sometimes, Chad, I promise.
So that might be a conflicting story. So the detainment for the mask is just enough to detain you and ask you questions. The officer then needs to build further understanding and evidence of what's happening in order to then either 1, frisk you, or 2, arrest you. Okay? So in your situation, if you had not sit there and try to ask Wrangler for what or anything like that, and I've said this in court a million times, and you had literally just complied with whatever he asked, if he went too far and frisked you without building the necessary information or articulation to be able to do so, then it would be fruit of the poisonous tree.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Slow down.
Yeah.
So, number 1, in my particular situation, not everybody was masked that was at the bank. Number
Okay.
2, not everybody was inside the bank, and for me, I wasn't. Number 3, did I not comply with him? Was I not in compliance with him?
I don't know. I'm just articulating to you in a generalized scenario how these things would be considered.
But I'm asking in this specific. But you brought up this specific scenario. I'm asking, did I not comply with Wrangler when I?
So
when he
let me put it this way.
Go ahead.
The courts have been pretty consistent that when an officer issues you a lawful order, okay,
Mhm.
and in this case, the order to stop and show me your hands was lawful because it's not an invasion, okay? So it's not like he said, stop, put your hands on the wall, I'm going to frisk you. In Bloom's case, where he said, stop and face the wall, if Bloom had then gone for the frisk inherently, that would have been questionable. You may be able to articulate because it's Seaside and they're all flagged up and blah, blah, blah. Maybe there's something there. But in this case, Wrangler can't articulate who you are the second he sees you, especially if you're wearing a mask.
Server, yeah.
So therefore,
Yeah,
the idea of being able to articulate that you are inherently armed and dangerous just by wearing a face covering is not a good argument. He would need to articulate more from talking to you after identifying you.
Put your hands
Now,
up, show
in
me your
this
hands.
case,
It's
when he tells you, show me your hands, okay?
Yeah. Or if we're going to go with show me your hands.
Regardless of the semantics, we both understand that when a cop says, show me your hands, it means, hey, stop, show me your hands. It's not, you can walk away. It's not, you can ask me questions. It's not, let's have a conversation. It's show me your hands. Courts are pretty consistent that there is a very limited window for you to comply.
Yep.
There is not much room for you to hem and haw and debate and ask questions and all that. Your right is not to ask questions in the moment of the cop. Your right is to challenge the cop's actions with the courts later. If you try to take things into your own hands in the moment and contest what Wrangler is doing, I've told this to HOA a million different groups a million different times. I've watched Sis scream at his members for not listening to me on this. And Wrangler knows because some of these happen literally like a block outside my house in the fucking unfinished cul-de-sac, and I heard about it about an hour
So
later.
let me ask you quick, but he never unmasked
That's
me.
true.
That's not necessary, Ramee.
It's not particularly necessary. Look,
it's the
Wrangler,
the problem is that you did not.
Okay, hold on. No, let me ask.
When you did not comply, you were arrested for disobeying.
Exactly.
No,
you did not follow his
hold on,
commands to a T.
Wrangler,
That's why you were arrested.
Wrangler, I have a question for you. That's fucking bullshit. That's actually. Because Wrangler, in your honest, please be honest. Did I not comply with what you told me to do?
Like
No.
during lunch while school, during practice,
Really?
during grad school.
You didn't put your hands up, man.
This
I mean,
goes
you
back
did.
to-
You did it.
This goes back to enunciation because I swear
wasn't
to you,
there and I don't
thought
know what
he wanted
happened.
me to GSR I swear to you, bro. I thought you wanted to GSR test me. I really genuinely did. I was like, well, okay, why the fuck is he wanting to GSR test me? I thought somebody shot in that
Ramee,
group or
so
something.
Ramee,
can I put it? Hold on, stop. Can I make the one
then
thing?
you
Let me just
should
make
you
this
should allow
comment.
him to just GSR.
Which I
Ramee,
did
so
though.
here's the
I asked
thing.
him why, and then he tased me.
But
I
here's
didn't
the
run
thing,
or
right?
anything.
Here's the thing, and I know this
I stood
sucks.
still.
Wait, and I know this sucks, but let me tell you the harsh reality, the harsh truth of the way the law works. It is not your legal right to know why you are being detained, to know what is happening and why in the moment.
All right, man. I'll let a cop just bend over and fuck me in
Hold
the
on,
ass.
I gotta
That
write
is
Well,
that is
yes, exactly,
That's the
yes.
law.
See, that,
I'll let a cop just bend me over and fuck
Come
me in
on,
the ass
Ramee.
next
That's
time.
not even
yes,
the case.
yes,
though.
Fuck
exactly.
me next time, Wrangler, right?
That's
well,
not
well,
even the
it's
case.
not
That's
that
even
either,
the-
Ramee.
we
because
really
it's,
got somewhere here today.
if
No,
they
it is exactly
if
that.
they overstep their bounds, you can come
Sorry,
after them
it's
later
wrong way.
for a lot more than the shit that you
fight
might have
it
lost in the
in
moment.
Non-compliance is resisting.
Sorry.
That's the
Well, that's
thing.
not true, and we need to look
You're
at
right.
that.
Where's
also.
bench guy at?
That's not true either. We need to look at
There.
that also
Alright.
because you can't come after them for more than you lost
He's
in the
right there.
moment because we can only sue them
Okay,
for 50K.
cool.
I got your back, babe.
And at this point, fucking one AK and a couple of oxy and armor is probably 50K.
I'm gonna be honest. If we're gonna set, if you're not,
Oh, you're getting your
if the
stuff back,
DOJ
right? You're
is
getting
gonna-
the drills back.
I understand that because this is beyond that, man. Like this is a very like what Kyle Pratt said. This is a very groundbreaking president that you're about to set. If this president is about to be set, then you might as well have PC. Then do you have PC to pull anybody over that's wearing a mask, driving a car, and saying,
That's not
"Oh,
the
this
same,
guy,
though. We're
this guy
talking
might
about-
be
Not the
boosting.
same.
This guy
We're
might be
talking about a
boosting."
mask
I actually
inside
think
of a
he's bringing
bank,
up a
though.
good point here.
This is a very
And we should do
Don't
that.
start Wrangler.
No,
The
this
war
is,
on
this is
but
about
masks.
being
they're
inside of a
being
bank.
serious,
There's-
bro.
There's multiple things that are added together that came to the conclusion of being able to detain you. It's not just this one thing.
I'm trying to
Keep
also
talking about
explain.
hold on,
one thing.
Crane,
It is
hold on.
a bunch
Yeah.
of things.
Okay, so Andrews, tell me the prongs that he said about a house robbery. Tell me the prongs that were in this situation.
But that's not an arrest. This is a detention.
Okay, so
You need
I need
very, very
okay,
little to be able to detain somebody, Ramee.
I'm not. I understand that. Listen, in
Can I
another
just
lifetime,
put it to you this way,
I'm a cop,
Ramee?
you know, like I know what you guys are saying.
If he just detained you and you
Huh?
didn't question what he was doing and why, and you didn't, ask what's going on, you weren't, evil. Like, let me put it this way, man. Even if he is GSRing you and you're confused why, you still don't get to ask why and delay him doing it. It's still not your right to
And that's
contest that in
grounds
the
for charging
moment.
somebody for disobeying a peace officer.
If-
Right off
if
that,
you don't follow what he does,
if I ask,
you
if
don't
I ask
follow
why,
the command.
But did I not follow? Did I not follow your
Okay,
command?
Do you know
I didn't
why? Do you know why that is though? It's
Okay, hold on.
because
No, Crane, let me answer this. Let me
people
say something.
stall cops by doing that, and then to get
Yeah,
enough time
okay,
to pull a gun.
Okay,
That's
but
why that
I'm
law
not
is
talking,
in place.
I'm not making a general statement here. I'm talking about this exact specific scenario. I didn't even have time to obey his command because when he asked me twice, he simply just said, "Going for taser," and then tased me right away.
But that's
That's
twice.
just good
Why
police
didn't you
work.
just do it the
Thanks,
That's
sir.
good.
Why didn't you
Police
just do
work,
it the
great
first time?
Okay. All right, guys. I'm the crazy one here. All right, guys.
It's not being crazy.
You're,
I mean,
you're
it's
not
just
crazy.
No,
You're
because
in a
what
situation.
no,
Rami, I think
Okay.
they're gaslighting you, bro.
they are. They're 100%. Because if I had two or three other fucking people that understand my shoes right now,
I
they would bring up
understand
valid
your
points,
perspective.
bro.
Here's-
I'm in a
here's my
circle of
honestly,
cops right
I-
now.
I've been
So
saying this for
actually-
years.
no,
I
I
never
very
understood
hardly
the shoes
disagree.
you wear.
I think you'd be
I
surprised.
don't think you
me and
guys really
Wrangler
do. I'm
understand
in
your
very,
shoes
very
pretty
certain
well.
custom shoes right now, boys. I don't think you guys understand.
I don't really think so.
Those are nice.
I think.
everyone's
Should I drive
shouting.
off
Because
or
there
no?
is a cop force. There's a difference in cop force versus somebody who's in GSF, Mandem, or
Oops.
whatever, than it is versus
Everyone's
somebody. I didn't
shouting.
mean to put Mandem on that same level, but You know, I'm just saying. Like,
Oh, I'm tweeting that out.
If there's a like, you know what I'm saying, or versus or if you're going against the chain gang. So please, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
Rami, we know you're the best gang. I saw the
That's not what I'm
flyer
saying,
above
dude.
the
I'm
vault.
not here to so you can gaslight me.
I saw
or
the
fucking. You guys are so
Lords
stupid.
of Los
Kings
Santos.
of Kings of Los Santos.
Good one, guys. Good one.
I
guys.
saw the
Good one.
picture above the vault.
Good one, guys.
I
Good
saw
one,
the
guys.
videos.
But you know what I'm. You know exactly what I'm
in
fucking
any of them.
talking about. Hey guys, bunch of guys over there. Don't. I'm not my dick. Oh, he's the dick over there, right?
Oh, I saw your dick above the vault. Kings of Los Santos.
You got. But you understand? You don't understand what I'm saying, Crane, or anybody?
Can I get a
here?
retweet?
Or am I just fucking?
I got you.
Sure.
Trying to
Thank
sound.
you.
Are you guys trying to make me just sound fucking stupid and thinking I'm sounding crazy right now?
No, I
No,
thought there's a
trying to
difference
make
in
you
how
Actually, completely the
I think
opposite,
there's
Rami.
the standard, and then there is a way to approach the other. things.
You're actually not. You're not. Okay, you're not crazy. In fact, you are the norm. I would say that in terms of like base human reasoning, you're probably the general notion, and anyone who is untreated
agree
or
with
unfucking like educated in terms of like how oppressive the American legal system is, you're probably spot on. The harsh reality of Western legal systems, and the reason why we have the highest incarceration rates in the fucking world, is because we have a system whereby we allow people the freedoms to do really dumb shit. We also then, in order to counteract that, the only way we can enforce the laws against those people is through violence. That violence is affected through policing.
Through violence gets up.
Because hey, guess what happens? Guess what happens if you go too fast in your car, which is like, you know, the libertarian ideal of like a 12-year-old going 110 miles an hour in a Dodge Charger to his coal mine while smoking crack, right? That if you're doing that, and the regulations.
Why are you talking about the president's son like that?
I know, right?
Hey,
If you go against the regulations and you get fined,
Ron Paul.
right, and you get a speeding ticket, what happens? Well, they say pay the ticket. What happens if you don't pay the ticket? Well, armed men then grab you and throw you in a fucking hole until you pay the ticket. That's called violence.
All I'm saying is, I think, is this president up to the Senate, or are you like, what's going on? Like, how? I missed that part in the beginning.
Rami.
I'm asking a question.
You were pinpoint on the idea of being in a mask at a bank.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
you guys are downplaying how fucking like crazy this is.
Then why not go to the bank without a mask on? Like, why not make yourself less suspicious?
Right, guys. Talk to me like I'm fucking stupid and crazy. With the more dismissive,
I'm not.
narcissistic.
Oh my God,
he sounds like
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a legitimate question. Like, why?
Because this is Los Santos. It's not
Everyone
California.
Rami,
what do you mean?
You
this is
here?
Los Santos?
Stop.
What does that mean?
Were you here, Rami, when I explained?
Rangers, I have
were you here, Rami?
So,
guys,
can I ask this? Can I ask this, Crane, real quick?
Just wait.
Andrews, I have a response. Just hold on. Let him say his
guys,
thing.
please let me get this out. Were you here and listening, Rami, when I explained the fact of what I thought would happen when it comes to hostages?
No.
Here's what
I said. I said I recognize there is an inherent issue because right now, if there are people trying to get into the back of these banks for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes an hour, and they're all just hanging out there, and the cops are not getting any kind of security alert or information that they should be looking into things that's suspicious to this bank, and then the cops come by and they start detaining people and IDing them for having masks on, then I know that the solution that the criminal side is going to come up with is not to stop wearing masks. It is going to be to start getting hostages and then getting more time to sit there with a mask to try to break into the bank.
But I actually like that because that means their boys got to fucking break them out.
But here's my issue. I don't want hostages sitting there for fucking 30, 40 minutes. No one does. Okay? Nor do the cops want to sit there for 34 minutes. So in the meantime, in this very present case, in this moment, I am telling you, Rami, that legally cops are able to detain and ID you. Does that mean they can frisk you immediately? No, they need to be able to articulate armed and dangerous. We've already discussed this. We've already told the cops this. Andrew is going to be talking to all of them. He already corrected them and talked to them in this very conversation. So, in going forward, okay, number one, you're not guilty of robbery of financial institution.
I'm not talking about just this scenario.
You're getting. I understand. You're getting the drills, the basic decryptors back because they're not marked for seizure. They can't be articulated involved.
Okay.
When it comes to the situation that will develop from this ruling, I already see the writing on the wall, as does Andrews, which is why I'm going to consult the Senate, the techs at the bank, the other judges, and we are going to discuss if there is an issue here that we need to address. Obviously, you think there is. Obviously, Andrews and I see enough writing on the wall that we're concerned and we want to at least raise the issue, which I will do in good faith. I'm not telling you that I'm going to put forth one opinion either way.
Yeah, I thought
but
there
I'm
was
going to
already
lay
a-
out.
I didn't
no,
hear
no,
that
no.
part. That's my
I am
bad,
going
then.
to lay out every single facet of this conversation, these issues, to the Senate and to the other judges, and we are going to discuss what is happening and if we think
No, it's not a
something needs to
constitutional
change.
right. That's the thing.
It will be out of
It's
my
not.
hands at that point, but I will bring it to the appropriate parties.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
I guess
sorry,
that was
you
in my
were
head.
you were in your head at
That's
that
my
point.
bad then.
Oh, Ramee,
That's my bad.
I
Andrews.
always think things are
I
better
understand
off
you.
when we try and solve them ourselves before we reach out for like a blanket answer.
No, and
like,
that's where I do disagree.
That's
Kyle,
why I
but-
told
because if that did happen here,
Wrangler
then
if he
there would be a
sees
problem.
something abnormal that's not
Does anyone have
supposed to be happening,
Before I fucking
No,
fall
ask
over?
the
don't.
Senate.
Well, I've got
Don't
half of
take
it
it into
already.
your own hands.
Thank you.
but we should be though because that's investigation.
I get you. We should be able to, but we can't because then we get this whole
But then why do
dramatic
people
bullshit
like me and
going on.
Wrangler got to be punished?
Damn,
because
Bison,
of
what
a
the
few
fuck?
Because
dumb
motherfucker,
Hey, buddy,
you
it's
guys
gonna be
always
okay,
have a
right?
target
Bring it
on your
in.
back. Why are you trying to be fucking
Don't talk about
oblivious?
targets on our backs, please.
I'm not trying.
Yes,
I have a
you guys
fo-
all
I
have
have a
targets
target
on
on my
your backs.
forehead, my back,
Unfortunately,
Bison just searched me
if
without
you
cause,
do something,
chat. Bison
everybody's
just
gonna start
Yeah,
talking.
he
about
searched
it.
me.
Wrangler
I
does
don't
something.
think-
Clip it
I
and
don't
chip
think
it,
we're
he just searched me
aware
without
of
cause?
this.
To be fair, I think
Yeah.
we.
Yeah, I don't
we
think
can
you
agree
understand.
we all do have. You know what? I think we can agree we do have targets on our back.
Oh,
just
you
kidding.
guys don't
I
have
do.
a target on your back. I have a. If you have a target, then I have a fucking AC-130 on me, bro. Please.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cops
I think
do
I
have
think
targets on their back.
I think if you look at the docket, you'll see how many cases Pred's gotten recently. There's some
Yeah,
there's
I
some
got
folks who are, let's just say, selectively enforcing when cops doing dumb shit is suddenly
Well,
needing
it's
to go
only
to
me
court.
when It's only when I do
Amen.
dumb shit. Hey,
I'm
and then
aware.
I got to go to court about it.
But just to be fair, just because we're all on this topic, just as I need to sit here and, in Wrangler's words, just consider the law, that's kind of how I got to deal with those cases as well.
I'm very curious to.
All right, it's too late. Love
I would really
Thank you,
like
guys.
to see if that Senate
I'm,
conversation happened. in the
I'm
city,
out
not
after
of
this,
the city,
too.
because I want to be a part of that conversation.
I would heavily encourage any conversation that happens inside the city. It's just difficult to get them all together at the same time.
Completely away
Rangler
from
Genius,
this.
I should be Yeah, I'll handle it. It's gonna go to the
What
docket.
kind of
lowering it. I'm gonna
what
be
kind of police do
I
you
agree.
want in this
I
in
agree.
this city?
But that's not for me to say. That
I agree,
have a-
but hey, Pred, newsflash: you guys hired every dispatcher, fucking stable boy,
That is true.
toilet cleaner.
You guys
But
hired
you're
every
saying that-
fucking
all right,
moron.
you guys
ever.
want to
Because we were told to. We were forced
you wanna
to,
point
man.
Me out? Yeah, we were forced.
I'm
to. You
not.
think I
I'm
wanna
not
do
saying
that
you
shit?
didn't. I'm not
I'm
saying
told
you
I
didn't.
have to.
Andrews,
By
to
who?
answer
Yeah,
your question,
Fred-
there
Fred-
not one way to
What do
be
you
a
think?
cop.
By the
because
Senate,
That's
man.
why. That's what makes the city different from all other
Hey.
cities. Is that you could be
100%,
whatever you want. That's why I
but
don't care.
Just I know you
Whether
don't.
it's
You guys
Wrangler,
never.
Pred, or fucking.
How many people do
Fingal
they want
Dam.
us to have on duty?
I don't-
At
wait,
what,
hold on.
40?
I don't matter.
I know you're not saying what you want, but just by your guys' actions, because we've been to many different like city meetings, and this question gets posed every time, and nobody can ever answer it, ever. I've
What
been
is
in
it?
the city
What's the
for
question?
years.
You know what type of
what kind of
cop I
police
want?
force
I
do you
want a
want?
cop
Do you
that
want
I
the
know
police force
that knows how to read a room. That's the cop that I want.
But you could say
And
that for
then
every
they have-
situation, though.
Exactly.
How can you read the room with a mask on?
Okay,
Which-
stop. I'm
which
just
could
gonna
be-
say this because I'm a third party, right? I came into this city.
Hey, bring it
Oh
in.
my
man, bring it
fucking
in.
gosh!
Bench
I
guys over
came into
there.
this city, and I'm not, someone who robbed banks. I'm not
Bench guys over
someone
there,
who
buddy, right?
caught people who robbed banks. My honest observation is that y'all are locked in a Cold War fucking
Thanks, baby.
escalation
Appreciate it.
where
Thank you.
as soon as one person takes a little bit of ground
work
with
now. I'm
like
gonna do that on
how
docket
fucking,
chat.
let's say, sweaty they're willing to be, how fucking hard they're willing to go, the other side's going to go to the ends of the earth.
We
and
don't
never
need
fucking
more. We don't need
stops.
another
Well,
one
the
of
thing is,
these.
you're not going to
tonight,
find three
right?
people who have done it all more than three people who are right here. Me, Ramee, and Wrangler.
You're right.
We've done
But
it all.
but
for
that's why
years.
you guys are able to have these
All right.
conversations. But I'm telling you,
Okay.
there are every time every time I see these situations, right now that I've been here like a year here in these bench trials, I see the same shit with the new cops over and over and over, where it literally comes down to fucking like these waves of like, okay, I'm proving myself to my superiors, and now it's becoming about my ego.
But
I'm
there's a
100% glad to sleep
problem,
out of this job.
Crane,
That's
that I will tell you as
This was supposed to be a short stream.
Like as somebody, okay, I'm a fucking criminal, right? As
I'm
a criminal.
sheriff.
Oh
right?
my God! What?
Okay, listen. There are police officers that do weaponize their SOPs, and I'm gonna be honest, Wrangler. In this situation, I think by technicality and by the books, you did your job. You did nothing wrong, right? But
Thank you,
in this, that's
Weaponize
not.
the law.
No. But
You're
you
a great criminal too.
You weaponized your SOPs.
Yes, I
Because
did. That's the point.
Okay, do you not
We're
see a problem with that though? There's problems.
No,
with that,
we're
though.
supposed to use them as weapons against criminals.
But
We're cops.
when can we do anything?
Okay, but hold on. So the
Like,
counterbalance
what's
to this
that signal?
discussion.
Let me give you an example.
The counterbalance here is that the most weapon that the criminals are going to use is shooting people at traffic stops.
Yeah, that happened.
Right, but
Yeah,
but
like
I'm saying it's a Cold War mentality. It's
Yeah,
they're
but let
building
him answer,
intercontinental
'cause,
ballistic missiles, so I'm going to build some
That's
too.
why we all benefit
let him
from
answer,
raising the
sir.
bar and the standards on each
when-
other. The
when
only
do
one
we
who
get
can
that
raise
signal,
the PD
or when-
standard is the criminal.
Okay, so let me
and the
answer
only
your
one who
question,
can raise
Andrews.
the criminal standard is the PD.
I
We
agree
work
with Fred.
in tandem.
Hell no.
We
Yeah,
work
yeah.
together.
Fred's on
Let
point
me
here,
answer your question.
100%.
Let me speak. There's different levels of weaponizing SOPs. For example, we'll take Wrangler's situation.
Fred's
Wrangler
100%
knows
correct
it's fucking
here,
me.
actually.
He knows.
He is
Oh, Ramee. Okay, we know this
made
guy's
the
gonna have a
most
fucking gun
sense
on him.
out of anybody
So-
that's talked
Shut
during
up,
this thing.
bullshit. Okay.
Get a mask on.
So
And we all just need to kind of raise
So
standards
Wrangler
a little bit
knows
across the
he's
board.
me. Okay. So he's gonna know. Oh fuck, that's Ramee. He's definitely gonna have a fucking gun on him. Let me find a reason to detain him. I know I'm gonna get an arrest here. And I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna be rewarded for this one. So let me do my job, right? So then he's gonna go up and say, "I need to talk to you. Let me see your hands." He knows that I'm gonna resist because I don't
Hey,
like.
Chad, how's
fucking
Reddit
talking
looking
about
right now?
He knows that I'm gonna resist.
How is that my fault?
No. Because if you do that to any criminal,
How's
everyone
Reddit
else
looking
will
right now?
with you,
How
man.
many?
Every criminal will run away from you, Wrangler.
And then that's
times
their
am I clipped
problem.
here?
They
You
don't.
think I've been telling them
Do you
for
have
a
parent
year
issues
to
or
not do
something?
that?
How the fuck is that my fault? Just don't
That's
do that
not
shit.
what I'm at. I'm giving you levels. Let me fucking finish. Let me fucking talk. You guys always jump the gun to interrupting people. Let me fucking
Alright, go
finish.
ahead.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Another level of weaponizing SOPs.
Y'all are
is
clipping
you have an
somebody else, it's
interceptor
fine.
driver that somebody bumps into your fucking car. He goes, "Oh, technically, by technicality, I'm doing my job. He damaged my vehicle. We're gonna give him. We're gonna be authorized for pit. If somebody
up,
just
Luke. You're
simply
not on
touches your
anything.
vehicle, we're gonna be authorized for pit on this vehicle. We are now gonna play bumper cars with this fucking car during a chase."
Ramee, I'm gonna be honest. What
there's
it sounds like
levels-
is just you don't
here we-
want to get caught.
No.
That's just it.
What it sounds like is you're
Ramee,
giving
just
me
don't.
narcissistic.
Ramee, just don't do that
How
stuff.
is it
All right, guys. Look,
narcissistic?
you're right, guys. 5 people all
No, here-
holding hands.
So,
agreeing.
What is our role
Ramee,
then?
here, let me.
You guys,
I
you're
just don't
fucking
get our
finished.
role.
You guys sound fucking
No,
stupid
here.
right now because you don't let me
All right.
finish. Let me
I thought
fucking
you were
talk.
finished, so I do
No, I'm not
apologize.
done. And then you guys come back with dismissive, narcissistic responses, like I'm fucking stupid or some shit.
I'm not trying to say you're stupid or anything.
All right, let him
like that.
talk
I'm not
without
trying to.
interrupting.
Nah, you guys.
I want to hear out what he's saying.
Nah, there's no reason. Nah,
No, I think you should.
Nah,
So
because
I
you guys
think
are not
should.
going to agree. You're not going to understand or see my perspective because you guys are officers, man.
Well,
I'm
counterpoint,
feeling you.
but
I'm
we're-
trying
I don't
to
think
understand
I'm
your
making you do
perspective. But if
anything.
we don't
Just-
agree,
just
you
don't
can't
do
be
it.
mad because we don't
I'm not
agree.
mad. Andrew, this is exact. The response you're just giving me is exactly what I'm fucking talking about, bro.
Because we don't agree,
No.
then
no,
we're narcissistic.
No. The way you're. All right, bro. Never mind.
Okay, look.
Look,
so
look.
I'll
Can I
parse it
point
out.
out something real quick?
Yeah.
Crane, we live in a world where the only person that can challenge us is the opposition. All right? I can't correct problems if I'm not aware of them within the PD. Just like, you have to deal with dumb cops because you guys don't like take them to court and then get the verdicts, and then the judges or you guys bring the verdicts to me, and then we can crack down on them. So it's like you gotta put the effort. You know what I mean? We all do. We all can raise the bar. It's time to raise the bar.
I agree.
And,
I think
and on our side too, I don't want to sit here and say, "Oh, crims are lazy." Whatever. I agree that if people are just running in and just handcuffing people and frisking them, yes, that is lazy.
Yep.
Can you
And-
agree
and I
with
think-
that,
and
Ramee? Can you agree that a lot of criminals, right, are hella lazy and they just do the bare minimum to try to
Right,
rob
but
whatever?
you've been. Okay,
You can agree with that,
no,
right?
No, let me finish.
Can you?
Do you know
can
why?
You agree?
For example,
Let
when
me-
was the
let
last
me
time?
finish, but I was still
I'm
asking
answering your
something.
question. Go ahead.
Okay, can you agree that there are a lot of lazy cops that, as Wrangler just said, will walk into a
Well,
situation?
of course, there's lazy
handcuff,
cops and
press-
there's lazy
okay,
fucking
but
crims.
it's,
I'm not
it's
answering.
on
I'm not
both sides, right?
arguing that. It is on both sides, but to
Man, they're
extent
gonna continue to
what
wait,
you
huh?
think is
They're
lazy
really
might
sticking
be
around.
defeat for people. the reason why some people don't do extravagant fucking plans or fucking
wire thermite and laptops and
3-step
bank USB
plans
sticks
is
labeled
because
police teacher, but no one's
there are
I don't know.
W hungry fucking
I don't
cops
know.
on duty, dude.
Those are
Due to
questions
the
I can't
amount
answer.
of fucking
right?
shit ass cops that are on duty.
Think
What you
some of
guys
these
all
are
have
fixed? Yeah,
acknowledged
probably.
in this meeting. Yeah.
Cameron Crowder people's funny as fuck.
People
Yeah.
don't.
Hold on, no one said
because it's such a
shit-ass
wild mix of
Oh,
people.
okay, sorry, my bad. A little vulgar, but dog water cops, right? Is that good, guys?
Dog
Shit ass.
This one is the answer.
All right.
This is very interesting.
No, but
Yes,
seriously,
Dr. Sweckenheimer, this is very
really,
interesting.
you might call it lazy. In
I
our
mean,
eyes,
you're-
it's
you're-
fucking defeat, bro. Nobody wants to do a
So
10-step
Moscow,
fucking
the reason that you don't
extravagant
see that
dope-ass
question
plan
is because it's a
the
scope
cops
question.
are so quick to
No,
get an arrest, and they're so quick to fucking.
If the
like,
criminal doesn't mention
here's the
that
counter
they
for
were
that,
going to do
though.
this, if they don't mention the crime
Yeah,
itself,
there is.
It was
There
never
is
like
counter
that
because
before you got
I've been
mass
on.
hiring.
Yes, it was. I was on the
whether
other
they're
side of
going to do
these
that, or if you
extravagant
ask a question like,
plans.
did you have the
A lot of cops didn't
intent, or
wanna
did you
go
attempt to do
those
this?
extravagant plans because they
That
always
question,
ended the same way.
there's an objection that
Assault
exists on the
and
board.
cops getting shot and laying on the
that's
ground
called-
for
it's
fucking hours.
Not fucking
That's
true.
where it
That's
ended.
that. No,
100%,
No,
Robbie.
it's not. You're not
Come
on duty
on.
enough to see
Calls
that.
for a legal
I'm
conclusion.
not on duty enough. I've been
Is
in the
the,
city a lot
is
longer
the
than you
objection that
have,
an attorney
Robbie. I've
would
been
draw?
on.
Okay.
I've seen it all,
Because
Rami. Trust
the
me.
judges are
Not
making a
every
conclusion.
escape ends in a shootout.
Not the
me.
person
I
on
think
the
the
stand.
problem
I'm not
is
saying
that
every
I'm
escape,
talking
that's
for
the
my
counter
DOJ is
to your-
ruining the
That is
city,
the counter
guys.
to your argument.
Are you speaking in
Yeah.
a general? Or are you?
Back to Russia, I go for a month.
I don't think any cop wants to shoot people nowadays. I mean, crim. Sorry. If you talk to any crim and you say, "Yo, you want to get into a shootout with a cop?" They're gonna tell you fucking no. Why? Because
Good.
45 cops respond to a fucking scene.
Wait, that's good. That's a good thing.
Okay, so you're saying that's good, and he's saying that's lazy criminal. That's a lazy crim.
Who's
What
saying?
are you-
No,
what are
I'm
you
saying that's.
I'm
I'm
not
saying I
saying
don't
you're
want to
I'm
get
saying
shot.
Andrews just said, "Oh, that's that's crims
Could you
being
clarify if a
lazy
person is
because they
identified
just
as
want to
violent
drive
felon, is
out."
like
No,
a
we want to
frisk,
drive.
or
We
what?
drive out because we don't want to do anything with a fucking 10-step plan. Because either A, it
Let's-
does end in a shootout, and then
let's start
55
with
cops
this whole
respond on
scenario
scene, or B, it gets
from
fucking
beginning
cut
to end.
early
Okay.
because there's
Rami
too
just throws his hands in the
eager
air
of a
and
cop
identifies
that
himself
responds to that scene
and
and
has a
fucks it all
conversation.
up.
We're bringing
Like,
up
you got what I'm
other
saying?
issues.
He doesn't get
So what's
frisked,
supposed
it
to
doesn't
happen
But
when you
I'm
shoot
I'm
a
not bringing
cop?
up another
though?
issue. I'm responding to you. I'm responding to your point.
has to be
Yeah,
a clear
because
and present
it's
danger.
crime.
you're essentially saying
Or
your
there's a
laziness is
suspicion that a
more
crime has
multiple
been
cops
or is
showing
about
up to
to
a
be committed.
shootout. What are we supposed to
I
do
never
when a
said
cop
that.
gets
I
shot?
never that never came out of my mouth. That
just
never
said
came out of
that.
my mouth. I never said that. I never said
You
if
just
too
said
many
the
cops
reason why-
responding to a scene is a lazy cop. I never said that. That never came out of my mouth.
We're getting into
You
A
said
lazy
that.
cop is somebody who doesn't want to. A lazy cop is if there's 10 cops on fucking scene, you're calling in to shoot the
Well,
guy
there's
and
a
not
character
fucking just
given
tase him
everyone
or
brings a different
tackle him.
dynamic to the
And there's
server,
10 cops
right?
and you're chasing one person.
Well, is he
That's
shooting
being-
someone?
That's no.
Yeah, usually they're flying a helicopter that shot cops. Usually.
I'm not even talking about that balloon, but if you want to be weird, go ahead, man.
Yeah, we're bringing up situations. We're leaving out like multiple.
I'm giving you. I'm
think
not
what
bringing up
Rami's
the
trying to say
situation.
is that both sides escalate.
Yo, listen.
They do.
No matter
and that's
what I
that's
say
the
right
point
now,
I was trying to make.
No matter what I say right now,
please,
you guys
just
are
hear us
gonna
out.
argue against me and not let me finish and try to make me sound fucking stupid.
I'm arguing.
I'm trying to argue with you,
Nobody
bro.
is trying to. We're trying to argue with you.
Wait, who's the four? There's like 12 people here.
Crane and I are trying to vote.
for.
We are trying to say that it is nobody's fault in this room. If you set something towards one side, it's going to create a shitty situation. We agree with you, Rami. Nobody is against
100%
you.
agree with you. That's why we're having this discussion.
Textbook
It's like you're trying to like punch yourself.
First of all, we shouldn't even have this conversation here. We should have this.
I think that everything should escalate.
No shit.
We should always escalate first before they
if I truly just believe that this was just like a legal issue, I would just have fucking issued the ruling. The point is, there's bigger issues going on here.
You want me to go get him a shit?
Yeah, let me get my shit.
Yes, please.
All right, let me go
Get him a shit.
Listen, I'm willing to have this conversation somewhere else because.
All right, full time, full fine. Just kidding, buddy.
Good one.
That was a good one, right, Fingal? That was a good one.
Great
Don't
one.
shoot Fingal.
Well,
Don't.
I hope you guys understand where I'm coming. Like really, what I'm saying, man.
I think you would be
Because not
shocked if I
listen,
told
listen.
you.
Oh.
TLDR. Not everything ends in a shootout.
No.
Andrews, to what you said, and I don't think there are lazy crims and there are lazy cops. Yes, I agree, but a lot of the laziness in your eyes is defeat in criminals' eyes because people don't want to do a crime and get do a B-class boost and get 3 interceptors and a motorcycle on them.
Cal's right.
That shouldn't happen.
Please
let me finish, please. Or people don't either want to. They don't want to get.
All right, let's go to a bank, guys.
They don't want to get an overbearing police force, or they don't want to do a 10-step plan that takes them 3 hours to set up, and then it gets cut short early because there is that one eager cop on duty that is leading the scene, and like, you know what I'm saying, like, you get what I mean?
RP doesn't stop changes. Christian, great chat. Have a great night. Thank you.
I get it.
Yeah, this is coming to its natural conclusion.
And I've spoken to you about this before, where your steps will get interrupted. You've put all this time in. It's frustrating if your plan doesn't go according to how you planned it, and it takes forever.
All
to
I'm
set
saying,
it up.
like, and you guys might see it as being lazy, but to us, it's seeing like, why do all this?
Hey, put that fucking camera away.
Which goes back to I get you. Fixing the police force, because some people don't like. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I don't want to say the wrong thing and like.
But what I'm trying to say is, it is a problem everywhere. It's not just on one side. I feel like you're just trying to push the blame on one side.
I'm not pushing the blame.
And not seeing.
I didn't disagree with you. Like, yeah, there are fucking those like S-class Andes that fucking like, yeah, I'm not like, we're not denying that. There is definitely 100%. There are those fucking S-class Andes that just do red garage pickup and fucking just drive off. Yeah. Is it more common now? Yes, but the reason why it's more common is the reasons why I said it.
We can easily kick you out.
Because there is a majority. The majority of the crims in this city do want to do extravagant plans and crazy getaways and cool dope ass shit. But at the same time,
I think there's a lot of lazy people that just really want to get some money.
I've kept quite a lot, but I will say, Ramee, can you not see? I know you see certain changes happening on our end, right? And not much is changing on that front.
Wait, what?
Come on, Fingal and Benji. Let's go pull people over with masks.
How we are responding and how we react to certain things are changing.
You are here until this shit is done. Okay. We are here because
just so
of
you know, there are active.
Actually,
you're actively changing shit up, man.
Fingal made all this call. Fingal said, "There's Ramee. Let's find a reason to make him run."
Are we good here?
Yeah, I'm good here.
Yeah. I think we've arrived at what we're going to arrive at in this moment, right?
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Ramee, come on, Drew. Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you guys are going.
You coming? You coming, Brad?
Gunners are a ride.
Nah, I gotta go to bed.
Hey, Wrangler, let me get my radio back.
See you, sir.
Gunners are a ride.
Can I get my radio and my?
I never took your radio. And you can't have your thermite. It's illegal.
Thermite's illegal.
Brought a call with me, isn't it?